issues with quarterback, but right now picked up a couple yards on that first carry by the Rattlers.
Yeah, nice positive yardage on first down, and that's all you can ask for in that situation for the Leflore Rattlers. Jatarius Morris set, 5'9", 170-pound junior, with the 7th rushing attempt of the season.
Going back to the well once again, the Rattlers do that. And I believe no gain on the play right there at the 46-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and about 7 coming up here for Leflore.
Great stop by the Red Raiders defensively. Markel Williams stopping that and having a little help from his other teammate, Tyrese Sutton.
Williams runs back onto the field, came over to the sideline to get the play call. Play clock approaching 10 seconds here. Quad receivers in this offense for the Rattlers. Williams going to keep it. As I said, started off the season as a running back, and the turf monster got him, but I think it was assisted by a Red Raider as well. Tackled right there at the 49-yard line, short of a first down.
Well, they call Jerome Williams bowleg, and you could see his elusiveness. Almost broke that nice run for the Rattlers, but like you said, just tripped up trying to make one too many moves there. And it's positive yardage right at the 49-yard line, and it's 4th and 3 for Leflore coming up.
Jacorian Gibson on to punt for Leflore. Back to receive Jermaine Luton for the Red Raiders. Gibson, nice punt. Angles it away, goes out of bounds. But we do have a flag on the play. Let's get the flag cleared up before we look at this BC Reign offense.
Absolutely wiped out the kicker, and that's going to be costly for the Red Raiders. And again, he is defenseless, kicking that football away, and as he did kick it away, he was absolutely destroyed on that play, and our white hat will have an opportunity to make his first call of the night.
There it is, roughing the kicker. Matter of fact, our first ball game with Jonathan King and his crew, and the Red Raiders give Leflore life here. Keeps the drive alive as they get it up to the 36-yard line after that penalty, costly penalty for the Red Raiders.
And again, the Leflore Rattlers with great field position after that failed pooch sky kick to begin the game. Now the Leflore Rattlers with a fresh set of downs.
Trip receivers to the near side here. And before we can get the playoff, we have a stoppage.
False start.
Flag on the field, I believe a false start against Leflore, and that is the call. So as they were gifted yardage, they eat 5 yards. That's going to push them back to the 31-yard line of BC Reign. It'll be 1st and 15 coming up. Same formation here for the Rattlers.
Yeah, that's something that you don't want to see if you're the Leflore Rattlers as far as offensively playing behind the sticks.
Hand off to Gardner. Tyler Gardner, the running back tonight, makes a cut, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and keeps his balance. And he's going to pick up the first down. Great run by Tyler Gardner.
Outstanding balance by Tyler Gardner, the 5'9", 175-pound senior, on his 13th rush of the season. Moves those sticks and gets another great first down. You thought he was tackled in the backfield.
I did.
But he was able to keep his balance, and the referees weren't premature with the whistle. And he stayed up, and because of it, picked up another 6 or 7 yards.
Rattlers playing somewhat of a tempo to get to the line, and then they slow down, setting up a little screen to the outside. Picks up maybe 1 or 2. Going to take Leflore to 2nd down.
Ace Davis with his 11th reception of the season, a 5'11", 185-pound sophomore with a little dump pass reception from his quarterback, Jerome Williams. And you look at just getting a couple of yards, which is positive yardage for Leflore, with the clock still ticking with 8:40 remaining here in the first quarter.
That's the key. You want to be positive here. Ball sitting at the 21-yard line of BC Reign. The drive continues. After a roughing the punter penalty against BC Reign, 2nd and 7, 3 yards. They're going to credit Ace Davis with the reception Just a direct snap right there to Williams as he turns the corner outside the numbers. One got to beat, and he leaps over him for a 21-yard score. Jerome Williams puts Leflore on the board, but wait, there's a flag at the 2-yard line.
You cannot hurdle in high school football.
Line. And he is going to be signaled for that. That flag came out immediately after he hurdled the BC Reign defender.
It is a great collegiate play and a great NFL play, but you cannot hurdle a defender.
Holding signal by Jonathan King.
You're just in a situation where you absolutely love the athleticism on that play. And at the end of it, we don't have replay available for you to see at this point in time. But I guarantee when you go back home tonight and watch it on YouTube, you'll see one for the highlight reel. And that was a tremendous run. You see why you call him bow leg. He put both legs together right there.
It is all for naught, Corey. It is all for naught. Jonathan King signals holding, so Leflore is going to be penalized. It is a spot foul, so the ball was at the 21-yard line. Let's see how far they push him back. It's going to be close to it. Let's see. They're walking it off now. So they're going to put it at the 7-yard line. But unfortunately for the Rattlers, they lose 6 points.
And that's one of those drive killers, momentum killers. You have alumni night to get your crowd excited in a critical 5A Region 1. And now you've had 2 penalties on this drive.
Line to gain is the 8-yard line, 2nd and 13. I formation here for the Rattlers. Williams keeps it again, runs to the outside, turns the corner, has great speed on him, great wheels as he's tackled just inside the red zone. So Leflore officially in the red zone now, Corey.
And DeMarcus Hector, 5'8", 140-pound sophomore, coming up from his free safety position. The defense, led by defensive coordinator Jared Hobson, gives up 28.2 points per game. This Leflore offense averages 12.4 points per game. But again, you like the athleticism. You get some of that yardage back. And to me, Al, if you're a gambler right here, you're not going to kick a field goal. You're in 4-down territory no matter what.
3rd and 6 here for the Rattlers, right on the red zone. Ball at the 20-yard line, waiting for one player to get off the field. Play clock under 5 seconds. The Rattlers got to snap it. They do. But whistles, we possibly may have a timeout called beforehand, and I believe that's the case. Leflore calls timeout right before the game clock expires. I'm sorry, the play clock expires, which is smart. You don't want to lose those 5 yards.
No, you've already erased a touchdown off of the board. You don't want to make it from 3rd and manageable to now 3rd and long.
Right.
So you want to go ahead and keep that 5 yards to your advantage. It's an early timeout here in the first quarter, and it's a great timeout.
Make sure you mark your calendars coming up. It's another important date that you need to be aware of. Distance Learning Day, October 10th, taking place next week. I believe that may be next Friday, as a matter of fact. Distance Learning Day. Corey, I have a strange feeling that coincides with the end of the quarter. Is that possibly what's going on?
Yeah, that's what that normally means. I mean, we're hitting August, September,
a lot of homecomings
October.
happening. There's a lot of homecomings taking place. Leflore has homecoming next week. Baker's got home. But it is actually the end of the quarter. So Distance Learning Day
it's amazing.
Next Friday.
Already 2 months in, you look at the beginning of August, school starting, and we're already beyond week 6 of high school football.
That's correct.
So time just goes by so fast. And again, it won't be distant learning for the Rattlers if they're able to punch this in their own end zone.
7:04 here remaining in the first quarter. Leflore has gotten the ball and pretty much kept it, almost punted it away, but BC Reign gave them a second life on a roughing the penalty passer. Pass wide open. That's going to be a touchdown for the Rattlers as they get the score with the pass to Ryan Austin from Jerome Williams. You just talked about hitting the end zone, Corey.
That's exactly what you want to do, and that's the 14th reception for Ryan Austin. The 6'1", 173-pound junior shows his versatility, and that's just an absolute bust in the secondary for the BC Reign Red Raiders, as no defender was within 10 yards of him making that catch and making that house call in that situation. 7-play drive, caps off 6 points, trying to make it 7 for the Rattlers, and it does eat up almost 6.5 minutes of the clock.
Kyle Simmons on for the extra point. Snap the hole, the kick is up, and Simmons' kick is good. Leflore opens up with a score. They've hit half their scoring average already. 7-0 is what we have here.
There's a lot to like about Mobile County Public Schools.
What I enjoy about Mobile County School is the extra attention my teachers give us to help us learn.
Teachers are liking their access to technology, and students are liking the quality of their education.
I like the technology that's been incorporated into my education.
And since 1826, you have trusted us to prepare your child for their future, and we like that. Mobile County Public Schools. We are learning today, leading tomorrow.
We welcome you back to the Snake Pit here at Rattler Stadium, and the Rattlers strike first as they take their opening drive down the field, and they get a score to get on the board early here in this critical 5A Region 1 matchup.
And you think about it, again, the sky kick, onside kick, not really, just kind of a sky pooch kick that Leflore was late fielding, and then they're aided by that roughing the punter call,
That's
which
correct.
gave them a first down. They scored 6, had it called back, and then goes ahead and takes another 2 minutes off the clock and scores 6 again. So it's up for this Red Raiders defense to make the adjustments. But right now, the Leflore defense has had an opportunity to rest almost 4 minutes before they get their first opportunity to take the field.
That is huge right there for that defense as the Red Raiders get ready back to receive Julius Rogers, Jordan Jackson, and Javarish Yeldon. Kyle Simmons with the kickoff. Rogers takes it inside of the 5 as the Rattlers pursue him. Flushes him to the right side of the field, near BC Rain side. He's going to be tackled at the 10-yard line. Take a look at that scoring drive right quick. 20-yard TD reception to Ryan Austin. 7 plays, 67 yards, 5 minutes and 1 second on the play. Great drive from Leflore right there.
And that was a great open field special teams tackle by Lewis McMillan. He is a junior jack linebacker, and BC Rain takes over deep in their own territory.
Very
for
deep,
their
Corey.
first offensive possession now.
First
But
and
Malachi
10
Adams,
from the
he's an
9-yard
impact
line
player,
for
and
BC
we'll see
Rain.
what kind of difference he makes as well.
Malachi Adams, a guy we have seen and we're familiar with. Man in motion here for the Red Raiders. And the Rattlers disrupted. That's a live ball.
Touchdown.
And Jonathan King signals a defensive touchdown. We talked about Leflore +4 in the turnover margin. They're going to be +5 after a fumbled snap. It could have been a handoff to the receiver coming over for the jet sweep. But I hope our replay machine might be up. I was told it was down, but that's a touchdown for the Rattlers. Wow.
And it may be a second score for the Leflore Rattlers in that situation.
Because Ryan
It's either
Austin does play
99 or
defense
6,
as well.
but it is Ryan, I do believe, that came away with that one. And if it is a nice fumble recovery for a touchdown for the John L. Leflore Rattlers. And taking over deep in your own territory and having a bad quarterback to center exchange, Quentin Beard just didn't have a great look, or excuse me, Elijah Reed didn't have a great snap to Malachi Adams, and Leflore quickly on the board.
Kyle Simmons makes it 14-0. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. She's on the sideline with the principal here at Leflore, Dr. Williams. And yes, Corey, you're right. That's Ryan Austin who recovers it on replay. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn right now. I got excited about the highlight.
Dr. Williams, thank you so much for letting us be here at Leflore tonight. We're excited. What do games like this, big region matchups, mean for this community?
Yeah, this is a major game for our students tonight, for our community. Our players have worked extremely hard all season for moments just like this, to come out and show their talents, their skills, and to represent their school on a night like this.
You are just excited, as every one of these fans. You have been running up and down the sidelines. So how much pride does it bring you as a principal to see the community come out and support your players, but to see these student athletes as well?
Yeah, it brings me a lot of pride. We love our kids. We try to teach our kids to love their school, love their community. We have a saying here at Leflore that says, my school be what I make it. And so we always try to make sure we do everything in our power to make our school a better school. So a lot of pride. I was happy to see that last turnover and touchdown. I know the players are super excited, so I get excited when I see them excited.
Absolutely, and I cannot let this moment pass without talking about your academics. You had some AP scholars this past year, a lot of wonderful and exciting things going on, a new building to go with your new football field. What academically is going on at Leflore that you would like your parents to know about?
Yeah, thank you for asking that question. Academics, of course, is one of our top priorities. You know, we always say safety is our number one priority, but right behind safety is academics. This year we did have 5 AP scholars, and we had 3 AP scholars with honors. And so to see our kids buy into the process that we're trying to instill in them and to value the importance of education means a lot to us. Parents can expect a lot from us this upcoming years. We'll continue to add AP courses, rigorous courses, and prepare them to be successful on the next level.
Absolutely, because it's an overall well-rounded student. So thank you so much for taking a moment to talk with us. We'll let you go celebrate with your school.
Awesome. Thank you, and go Rattlers.
Thank you, Kimberly. We know Dr. Williams is smiling for more than one reason. He finally got MCPSS over here to cover a game at the Snake Pit for the most part. Now, during his interview, that was roughing the kicker on the extra point. So Kyle Simmons got another attempt, and BC Rain blocked it. So our score is now 13-0. Leflore on top of Rain. And we did verify, Corey, that was Ryan Austin who recovered the fumble in the end zone. So he has 2 touchdowns already, trying to make an early call for the Career Tech Education player of the ball game.
Again, special teams right here by Leflore. BC Rain needs an answer.
Jermaine Luton trying to give him the answer as he gets it up to the 44-yard line. Take a look at that BC Rain offense led by senior quarterback Malachi Adams. He brings a wealth of experience to the Red Raiders offense, averaging 24.6 points a game. Toting the rock is leading rusher Jamani Rogers, who is a brother to wide receiver Julius Rogers. He'll be outside running routes to haul in passes from Adams. Up front, the Red Raiders offensive line is young and features only one upperclassman, but making himself seen. Keep your eye on right guard Jonathan Pritchett, who checks in at 6'2", 280 pounds on the right side for the Red Raiders.
Well, BC Rain with their second snap, not so deep in their own territory now, having plenty of room to operate for the quarterback Malachi Adams.
Ball on the 44-yard line, and a Leflore Rattler jumps across the line, so he's going to get called for encroachment. So that's a free 5 yards for the Red Raiders as it pushes the ball up to the 49-yard line, 1 yard away from hitting plus territory and Rattler field position.
Well, BC Rain, after that disastrous first snap and first series, are happy to be at almost midfield. And you look at the time remaining, 6:26 here in the first quarter. BC Rain needs to sustain a great offensive drive or put 6 points on the board here.
Adams setting up the screen. Pass is incomplete. That's not a lateral. It was going forward as he tried to connect with his receiver, Darrell Blackman Jr. Someone Coach Yelding told us on the phone Sunday he was a little banged up. They tried to get him into the lineup, and we see Blackman is back on the field for the Red Raiders tonight.
Blackman, a 6'3", 190-pound sophomore wide receiver, wants to have that opportunity back. Malachi put it right in his hands. He just needs to squeeze the pigskin in that situation. Brings up second and manageable here at 5 yards for the Red Raiders.
Wide receivers, Jamani Rogers goes into motion. They fake it to him, right to the middle. Julius Rogers just sits right there in the flat in front of the linebackers. That's a first down. Nice pass from Adams to Rogers.
Great job of finding the opening in that defense by Adams, and a great route by Rogers, the 5'10", 175-pound senior with his 19th reception of the season, has 2 receiving touchdowns, so he is one of the more lethal wide receivers for the Red Raiders for sure.
Ball on the 42-yard line of Leflore. Closed in set here for the Red Raiders. They toss it out. On the carry, Jordan Jackson, and he's going to be tackled for a loss, a 2-yard loss back to the 40-yard line.
Great job of coming up on support for the Leflore Rattlers. You look at Demetrius Toney slowing things down until his teammate could come and cleans up things for him. Rashad Miles, our impact player, making the official tackle, but that's how you have great teamwork. Miles cleans up the stoppage in play by Toney.
Second down and 12 is the call here at the Snake Pit. Adams with time, just flings it, goes over the top, and the pass is caught and hauled in by Darrell Blackman Jr., and they're going to say that he broke the end zone. That's a touchdown pass, 40 yards from Adams to Blackman Jr., but a flag comes in late after the play.
It's going to be unsportsmanlike for spiking the football, but Blackman Jr. goes up high and splits two defenders, one being corner Malachi Jones. It's good defense, but even better offense. As you high point the football, you bring it down, and you're able to get 6. It'll cost you here on the extra point or the kickoff, so you got to be happy with the fact that he scored the touchdown. It is good for the Red Raiders, and you look at Malachi Adams with a very nice protected pocket.
Yeah.
Nice sidearm throw right there on the money. And again, Blackman using his height at 6'3" to go over the 5'6" corner and just make a spectacular catch for the Red Raiders.
That's something BC Rain had been missing while he was out injured. Coach Yielding told us he was going to try to get Blackman back in the game, and they said if he checks out okay, we'll get him in, and he's out here tonight making an impact. Romeo Sanchez on for the extra point, and it is no good. We'll take a quick break. So BC Rain answers back. 14-6 is our score. Look at Darrell Blackman Jr. climb the ladder.
Hey, Mobile County parents, it's time to launch your little learner into success with the Mobile County Public Schools First Class Pre-K program. If your child turns 4 years old on or before September 1st, they qualify for this incredible opportunity. Online registration begins January 15th, so don't miss out. Visit MCPSS.com for more information and a complete listing of pre-K sites, screening and selection information. The MCPSS First Class Pre-K program, where big dreams start small.
We welcome you back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. BC Rain comes back to get that goose egg off the board after an inopportune fumble. Quarterback to running back exchange. Leflore took advantage of it, but what did BC Rain do? They came right back and answered, drove down the field, and scored, Corey, on their second series of the night.
Yeah, what a great answer. I mentioned to you that they really needed to answer the call after going down 13-0 real quick, and a 5-play, 57-yard drive after an absolute dime thrown on the money to Darrell Blackman Jr. by Malachi Adams. 40-yard touchdown strike there for the Red Raiders. 65 seconds they used off the clock. I don't know if we're going to have a scoring fest tonight. We're going to find out. So BC Rain is penalized after that flag for unsportsmanlike conduct. So they'll be kicking off from the 25. Leflore looking to benefit with some great field position here. Let's see if Sanchez can boot it down the field and outkick the Rattlers special teams here on coverage. Let's see what Sanchez has in store for us. Kind of pooches it, skies it up there. Taken by Leflore at the 35-yard line. On the return, Tyler Gardner. Nice return by Gardner into plus territory. This is BC Rain's side of the field. They're going to mark him, I believe, at the 47-yard line. Nice return by Tyler Gardner. Huge return again, setting up great field position by Leflore, and they fielded that first sky kickoff that they had right around the 40-yard line. But this one actually being able to be returned gets it into Red Raider territory. And it looks like we're going to go ahead and walk this one on back a little bit further as there's some dirty laundry across the field.
On the far side. So holding called against Leflore. After this first play, we'll get up the BC Rain defense to let you know about them after Leflore calls his first play. So that field position will not benefit Leflore. That's going to push them back to their own 42-yard line after that penalty. Wow.
Well, again,
that took off by 15 yards, Corey.
You go from being in BC Rain territory to still being in your own territory, but number 0, they call him Bowlegs. This young man knows what to do with the football once it's in his hands.
Setting up the bubble screen, incomplete. Take a look at that BC Rain defense. They play a 3-4 with Will linebacker Jabbar Armstrong leading the team in tackles. Georgia State commit Aaron Moore has 9 tackles for losses and will help out up front on the defensive line, averaging 243 pounds. Look for Sam linebacker Charles Campbell to seal off the inside, while strong safety Sean Travis locks down the secondary. He has 1 pick and 2 fumble recoveries. Rain has 14 takeaways so far on the season. 2nd down and 10 coming up here for the Rattlers at their own 37-yard line.
Taking care of the football is going to be huge for Leflore, and it's going to bring up a long 3rd down situation already. But here on this 3rd and long, you have to make sure that you do take care of the football. You don't want to go ahead and put your team in a situation to where you're giving BC Rain another takeaway. You would rather flip the field, being able to punt the football away. So again, at 3rd and 12, the Rattlers have scored on 1 short touchdown of 20 yards. So we'll see here if the Red Raiders defense and secondary is tightened up.
2-yard loss on the play. Williams just going to take off to use those legs, and he is tackled and pushed out of bounds just shy of the 40-yard line. So the BC Rain Red Raiders 3-4 defense holds as they try to get the ball back for Malachi Adams and the offensive crew.
Kerry Rattler, the 6'1", 180-pound sophomore, coming up to make a stop along with Darnell Robinson, also for the Red Raiders. And we saw a roughing the punter on the last time we had a 4th down for Leflore, but they have to have great protection because BC Rain special teams can be dangerous for the Red Raiders in regards to blocking punts.
Jermaine Luton setting up at his 29-yard line. Jacorian Gibson, nice punt. Luton's going to field it at the 22-23. Cuts back here to the near side on the Leflore sideline, and he's going to be tackled, taken out of bounds close to the 31-yard line. Take a look at that Leflore defense. They play a 4-2-5 with hard-hitting action coming from up the middle with MAC linebacker Micah Thomas as the Rattlers' leading tackler. And next to him is money linebacker Jatarius Morzette laying the lumber. Bandit backer Jacorian Gibson is tied for the lead in sacks with 2. In the secondary, freshman cornerback Talon Bumpers will be a pest for the Red Raiders receivers tonight. He has 1 pick and a forced fumble on the season. The Rattlers defensive front averages 238 pounds, and Leflore now has 11 takeaways on the season, Corey.
And again, BC Rain coming off of that 40-yard bomb is going to continue to try to attack this secondary of Leflore.
1st down from the 32-yard line, pass completed to Julius Rogers. And he's pretty much just trying to get his way out of those Rattlers as they are all over him.
Flags on the field there as soon as that ball was caught right around the 31-yard line. And you look at that where it is, it's in the area of holding.
Yep.
And we'll see here if it will cost the Red Raiders 10 yards from the spot of.
Illegal man downfield, not holding. So that will cost the Red Raiders some yardage, and they'll have to have 1st down again here after they march it off.
I think you could have had
5
a little
yards.
bit of both there.
You think both of it, huh, Corey?
Yeah, you could have had a little bit of both on that situation. But, you know, it's one that nonetheless does cost the Red Raiders valuable yardage here. And 3:30 on the clock running down now in the 1st quarter. The Red Raiders at their own 27-yard line.
1st and 15. Leflore has already hit their scoring average, putting 13 points up early here in the 1st quarter. And another flag on the play. You talked about this when your checklist, Corey, about penalties. Offsides. That's the 2nd time tonight Leflore has been flagged for offsides.
Yeah, that's something that you just don't want to give the other team free yardage. And you just gave them an opportunity for a 1st down. And the defense is going to have to just be disciplined and tighten up, but it gives this Red Raider offense an opportunity to open things up for Thamus Davis.
Back to the original line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 from the 32. Pass attempted to hook up with Jermaine Luton. I thought there would have. There was no flag on the quarterback, so no roughing the passer there. 2nd down and 10 coming up for BC Rain.
And you have a 5'10", 175-pound senior not able to come away with that one as continued action here, 3:02 in the first quarter brings up a second down and 10 yards to go from the own 32-yard line. And again, I just love when Thamus Davis gets into a rhythm offensively play calling. Despite what happened on that first possession, he gets things revved up.
Adams back, pressure on him. Almost sacked by Jataris Marzette, but he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage near the 25-yard line. That's a 7-yard loss on the sack right there for BC Rain.
Jamarius Hawkins coming in and wreaking havoc. One of our impact players, the defensive lineman, a good-looking senior nose tackle for the Leflore Rattlers, 5'11", 307, showing his agility and quickness there to whoop his man at the line of scrimmage and get into that backfield. And now you're looking at 3rd and forever for the Red Raiders.
3rd and 17, ball's at the 25. The Rattlers defense showing out right now, putting pressure on Malachi Adams and the Red Raiders. They flush him in up to the pocket. He climbs and takes off near the 40. The line of the game will be the 42 as he is tackled and forced out of bounds, shy of the first down by about 5 or 6 yards. So it'll set up 4th down here for BC Rain.
Well, it's a great job of the Leflore Rattlers.
Good
Demetrius
pursuit.
Tony, the safety, 6'1", 186-pound senior. Everybody, he breaks containment, but what happens is your rover safety stays home and knocks him out of bounds, just short of the marker. And you say just short because look how many penalty yards on that drive cost the Red Raiders. And now they're going to have an opportunity to flip the field, but we must watch out for this center to punter exchange here for BC Rain.
Timothy Weirs back to punt, high snap. Weirs gets it off. Rashad Miles doesn't even need to go near it. Peter, everyone get out the way. And BC Rain is going to down it, I believe, at the 42 or 43-yard line. So decent field position here once again for Leflore. They're going to spot it at the 44. That's where the bag is placed on the field. So 1:53 remaining here in the first quarter. A very exciting first quarter that we have had between both of these teams.
There's exciting action going around Mobile and Baldwin County. Mary G. Montgomery leading Alma Bryant 14-0, and Williamson leading Faith Academy 14-0 as well.
Double stack receivers for Leflore. They hand it off. On the play, Tyler Gardner just evading Red Raiders. He ran a long way to pick up 1 yard. 2nd and 9 coming up here for the Rattlers.
Just lucky he was not tackled for loss in that situation. Great pursuit by the Red Raiders, and we have a cramp or an injury on the field for BC Rain.
Red Raider down right on the Rattler mascot, so we'll take an injury timeout as well and come back. 1:34 remaining here in the first quarter. Leflore up by 7. Don't you move.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month
Has a negative effect on student achievement.
and that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose.
Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
We welcome you back to the Snake Pit at Rattler Stadium. 2nd and 9 here for the Rattlers. Man in motion. Brings 3 receivers here to the near side. They're setting up the screen. They get it to Gardner. Almost tackled just shy of the 50. He's going to fall into BC Rain territory at the 48-yard line. Leflore trying to pick up another first down.
And Gardner has done a tremendous job of being elusive on the play before being tackled by Tyrese Sutton. The defensive end, 6'2", 245-pound senior, makes his 15th solo tackle of the season. You look at 3rd down and 2 yards to go for Leflore coming up. And I know that this is definitely Jerome Williams' time when you look at it. Bowleg looking to pick up those 2 yards and having a huge fullback to block for the running back.
Williams trying to pick his hole. I believe his momentum is going to have him short by a yard as they are directly in front of the press box here inside the snake pit. Picks up 1, so he is 1 yard short. He needs to get to the 46-yard line to pick up the first down.
Roll the dice here if you're the Rattlers. I mean, you can flip the field and go field position. We're going to end the quarter and give coaching staff plenty of an opportunity to think about what they want to do, as we've had an exciting first quarter of play.
And that will bring the first quarter to a close. So the Rattlers will get to think about it and decide what they want to do to come back on the other side. And we'll join you as well for the second quarter. You're watching BC Reign versus Leflore for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Looking for unforgettable food and flawless service for your next event? Woodyard Catering is Mobile's top choice for personal chefs and customized catering. From weddings and baby showers to funerals and private dinners, we bring delicious, handcrafted dishes made with the freshest ingredients. Reliable, friendly, full of flavor. Whatever the occasion, we serve it with care. Call Woodyard Catering today, because every event deserves a taste of excellence.
Mobile County Public Schools' Signature Academy program is here to help those students who want to jumpstart their career right out of high school. With more than 100 specialized courses ranging from engineering, computer networking, nursing, welding, and more, we prepare students for college and career readiness. To learn more, log on to MCPSS.com. Mobile County Public Schools' Signature Academy program, preparing students for life.
Our game tonight brought to you in part by Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's is hiring. Work with one of the best companies in the country. Great pay and benefits. Stop by the Dolphin Street or Airport Boulevard location to apply. Tell them Al and Corey sent you. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Also, we got to thank BSN Sports with team apparel and equipment from baseball to wrestling and all sports in between. BSN Sports, the heart of the game. Visit them online at bsnsports.com. It is time for the second quarter to begin, and I believe Leflore is going to go for it. Jonathan King walked over to the far side to look at the sticks to get the exact measurement. We are a yard short here for the Rattlers.
Al, in the backfield, as on the last play, you have big defensive lineman Jamarius Hawkins leading the way for the quarterback who is under center. So if you hand this ball off, you just follow behind the big fella.
And they get the jump. The Red Raiders jump. So Jerome Williams got him on the cadence, Corey.
Love that as far as coming out of a timeout, knowing it's the end of the quarter. And
that's got to burn up LT Young. That's got to burn him up.
It does, and defensive coordinator Jared Hobson as well. And again, the Red Raiders, for the second time tonight, off of a penalty, have given the John L. Leflore Rattlers a first down. 1st and 10 in Red Raider territory. Looking to strike again on the board.
And the big fella's still back there in the fullback position. Hawkins there, number 99. As he's up front laying the blocking and definitely parts the sea right there for the Rattlers on the carry for Leflore. Jacorian Gibson comes over from defense.
And you go ahead and you flip and you go down your roster and just find guys that are playmakers and athletes, especially when the injury bug has hit you. And then as a defender, DeJuan Reed comes up and makes the stop for the Red Raiders. But it continues this clock grind, time of possession favoring the Rattlers right at the 40-yard line of the Red Raiders.
Something you talked about on your checklist, clock control for Leflore. As we've started the second quarter, that's a fumble snap, and Williams falls right on top of it at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, luckily to bounce on top of that one and control it. But when you look at what it does bring up for Leflore. 3rd down and 8 yards to go. It changed it up a little bit, and because it does change things up, you have Ryan Austin that you can play at wide receiver to get things done. You can also turn around and get things done with Ace Davis, number 1 at the top of your screen as well. You just have to give Jerome Williams time in the pocket to where, as a running back, by trade, he wants to go ahead and tuck it and run it. So we know what he can do with it. He's under center now.
And Jonathan King is signaling, I believe we're going to have a timeout called by Leflore. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. She has an injury update for us.
I was able to go check on number 45 for BC Rain. I spoke with him. They ended up wrapping up his ankle. He said he had a previous injury from a few weeks ago where he twisted his ankle. In the previous play, he had just re-injured it a little bit. It felt a little bit uncomfortable, so they wrapped him up, and he's ready to go and will be returning in a little bit in tonight's game.
All right, Kimberly, appreciate that. Darnell Robinson, who she's talking about for the Red Raiders. Last year, BC Rain defeated Leflore 41-18. They have met 21 times, and Rain leads the series 14-7. The last time Leflore beat BC Rain, you have to go back to 2018, Corey. That's how long it's been since the Rattlers have gotten the win over the Red Raiders.
Well, you talk about John L. Leflore all the time. 219 wins, 378 losses, and 5 ties. And BC Rain all time, 288 wins, 355 losses, and 6 ties. And 3 NFL players have come from BC Rain, 5 NFL players all time for Leflore. So the legends continue to mount up for both of these squads, and looking forward to seeing more legends make their mark tonight in this 5A Region 1 game.
2nd and 8, they toss it out to Jacorian Gibson. And pretty much BC Rain is going to flush him for a loss outside. Offensive strategy has changed up here for Leflore here in the 2nd quarter, up 7 points and looking to punt right now. And BC Rain trying to take advantage of some great field position if they can get it. 4th down coming up for Leflore.
Great job of Sean Travis Jr. coming up from his strong safety position, creating a short field here on the Leflore sidelines. The 5'11", 185-pound junior just made it where there was nowhere else to run for the Leflore runner. And bowleg to punt it away, Jerome Williams.
Well, that's actually Gibson, and it is blocked. The Red Raiders get their hands on it, and it is blocked. They're going to down this ball at the 42-yard line. So, Corey, special teams significant tonight in this ball game.
That 3rd phase, and you just see going airborne, Braylon Fogg, the 5'10", 160-pound junior, creates a special teams moment. And I talked about all 3 phases having to win it. And that's just one phase of special teams now that BC Rain can check the box. And you look at this score, 9:30, Al, 13-6 our score.
Yeah.
And
this
BC
game is
Rain,
wide open.
Absolutely. Now they want to capitalize. And Charlie Shipp talking with the head of officials in tonight's game, Jonathan King. And Mr. Jonathan, I call him Joe Nathan, is one of those veteran officials in our area. He referees basketball as well, and I've had the privilege of calling many games with him also. And it looks like this one is going to be called and walked off against BC Rain. There's plenty of discussion there amongst everybody to see what the call is.
Yeah, they switched the teams. I mean, we're in the 2nd quarter. I thought Leflore was going to the north, and then Charlie Shipp and Jonathan King said, well, you guys go this way, and they flipped them back around.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just the wrong direction there.
Which meant they had Leflore going in the wrong direction as well. As one of our statisticians, Matt Moore, is in the booth with us, giving us signs here because we changed the quarter. Yeah, they got to flip them back, I'm thinking.
And what it was, they're going to get it corrected.
Yeah.
But initially, when you don't have a lot of field flipping to do.
And there's the flip back right there.
There we go.
I don't know why they were switched, but, you know, Corey, I guess they're doing their version of boots on the ground here in
There we
Thomasville.
go.
803 fresh in the house.
they're going to get it together in regards to doing a little sliding and flipping the field. That's literally what it means to flip the field, Al.
Yeah, we saw it. All right, 1st and 10, ball's at the 42 of Leflore. Nice carry right here by Rogers. He picks up about 4 or 5. Takes BC Rain to 2nd down. As we approach 9 minutes left here in the first half. Very exciting ball game between these two 5A competitors. As we told you on the onset, if you weren't with us, both of these teams are 1 and 2 in region play. There are 4 teams at 1 and 2. So the winner of this ball game moves a step closer to possibly making the playoffs. So that's why it's so huge here in week 6 of high school football. Boy, 8 up behind the line of scrimmage. The Rattlers all on top of Rogers right there.
And that's an outstanding job of getting after it. Big number 88 for the John L. Leflore Rattlers. Farron Walker, he is a junior and just absolutely all in the backfield on that play, just holding on. And
there's
you can
a replay.
look at the tackle for loss.
5-yard loss on the play. So 3rd and about 9 coming up here. This Rattlers defense has really bowled up tonight.
And that's what you have to do. Tyler Dinkins Williams, 6 foot, 235-pound sophomore. Corrected myself there. Nice defensive tackle play.
Adams has time. He's flushed out of the pocket to the left, throws back across his body, incomplete. And the Leflore defense appears to hold as it pushes BC Rain to 4th down.
Well, Tyler Dinkins Williams on that last play again, just grabbing the ankles of the running back, creating that 5-yard loss. And after the flipping of the field by the officials, we're at 4th and 11. And I will say this, if they're able to get away a great punt here, you will pin the Rattlers deep in their own territory.
That is true. That is true.
And you're only down 6-13. You make this Leflore offense march to length and try to strike from at least 80 to 90 yards here, but it looks like I don't see a punter out on the field for the Red Raiders.
And Coach Yeldon playing chess. He works the play clock down and then calls a timeout at 8:06. Corey, I got to take time to shout out one of my science buddy, teacher Chandra Jones over here at Leflore. She's a Red Raider graduate from 1996, but she's been teaching at Leflore since 2012. She told me, I'm torn. I don't know who to pull for tonight because she's got kids on the field that she teaches every week, man. So appreciate you shouting out. Get ready for our next volleyball match. Theodore versus Bryant take place Wednesday, October 8th. That's next week. So join Nancy Shoquist and Nicole Keyshock for the MCPSS High School Volleyball Match of the Week. They had the middle school championship earlier this week, so we'll show you the winners of that. But they got high school action headed your way next Wednesday, Theodore versus Bryant. Even though it has Murphy and Leflore logo, I'm going to talk to Wade about that after the ball game, Corey.
Here it is. They're going to punt this ball away and see if they can flip this field and have an opportunity to make Leflore drive the length of the field.
Nice punt right there by Weirs. And it is a touchback. It goes into the end zone, so Leflore get it at the 20-yard line. 7:57 left here in the first half of this ball game. Our first time inside the Snake Pit at Rattlers Stadium. And speaking of that middle school, I was just talking about it. Congratulations to Dunbar Magnet, the small division middle school champions in volleyball. They won a title the other day with Nancy Shoquist and our buddy Nicole Keyshock on the call. So congratulations to Dunbar for the small division championship. And on the large side, congratulations to Phillips Prep as they win the middle school volleyball large division championship. I ran into their basketball coach today, Coach Waston, and he said there's a whole new attitude over at Phillips. The kids are buying in. They're in the playoffs for football as well. So he's hoping some of that, Corey, will go over to basketball. But I said, hey, my buddy China Powell, she might have something in store for you over there with Scarborough. So you never know. Pass almost intercepted by the Rattlers.
And coming down on that bomb, he is hurt. He landed on his wrist, trying to make a spectacular play, and it knocked the wind out of him as well. And you can see him trying to catch his breath, but as he extended, trying to make that grab, just flat out, literally laid out parallel to the ground, came down hard on the wrist and knocked the breath out of him. But it's a great first down strike opportunity, bringing up 2nd and 10. I love the play call and the aggressiveness there of this Leflore offense for sure.
2nd down here coming up for the Rattlers from their own 20-yard line. Williams on the move. They flush him out, and he is going to be tackled for a loss. His progress stopped at about the 7 or 8 yard line. Significant loss right there for Leflore. BC Rain comes through on defense.
Charles Campbell, the Sam linebacker, 6'3", 195-pound sophomore. Just great job of wrapping up. And again, Jonathan King signaling death right there around the 7-yard line. And when you look at him signaling the play dead, it was to try to protect him from any other further damage there. But it's going to bring up a long, long 3rd down. And Leflore, again, BC Rain using the strategy of flipping the field here, but the Rattlers must value the pigskin.
12-yard loss on the play, ball on the 8-yard line. Leflore needs to get to the 30, 22 yards away from picking up a first down. Setting up a screen. They get it to Gardner. He's got the blockers. Does he have the speed? Does he have the talent to fight for it? Once again, I don't know about this turf monster. They're going to check his cleats, Corey. That's the 2nd time he's kind of slipped up with the grass there.
Braylon Fogg, 5'10", 175-pound junior, coming away with his 20th solo tackle. Great job of going ahead and breaking some tackles. Tyler Gardner showing the versatility of his hands, making one of his first receptions of the season on a nice design play call. Now the Rattlers will have a chance to try to get BC Rain at the 50-yard line at least.
Gibson back to punt once again. They blocked his last one. He gets this one off. Nice punt. Jermaine Lute's going to stay away from it. I thought he was going to field it. And the roll goes to Leflore as Gibson flips the field, Corey, something we talk about all the time, pins BC Rain back on their own 25-yard line.
Outstanding punt.
Great punt.
There by the Leflore Rattlers, and you give credit to Gibson being able to put toe to leather the Jack linebacker, 195 pounds, put all of his weight behind that kick. And it's going to make the Red Raiders have to earn all of the yardage here with 5:59 remaining in the 2nd quarter of play.
Shout out to special teams coach Marcus Douglas and his special teams crew. They executed perfectly on that one, flipping the field and pinning BC Rain. 1st and 10 at their own 25. 5:59 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Adams sides-arm it to Rogers, and he is just manhandle and tackle. A little extracurricular going on right there with Darrell Blackman Jr. and one of the Leflore defenders, but they break that up. 2nd down coming up here for the Red Raiders up to their 27-yard line.
And that's all you can do is ask for an opportunity to get positive yardage. 2nd and 9, even though it's just 1 yard gain, we know how much of a difference 1 yard can ultimately make in this great game of football when it's all said and done. And the Red Raiders continuing to chew away at this clock here late in the 2nd quarter of action. Either a timeout
I believe we have a timeout by BC Rain calls a timeout at 5:07 here remaining in the 1st half. Did you know this year Mobile County Public Schools celebrated 293 AP scholars from 6 of its high schools? These honors were earned based on advanced placement exams taken in the spring of 2025. And speaking of AP, Leflore Magna High School is celebrating a big academic milestone at its Academic Excellence Award ceremony held in the school's brand new auditorium Leflore honored his very first group of AP scholars. The 5 students recognized were Taylor Andrews, Malaysia Gordon, Jemiah Robbins, Josh Wicks, and Jemiah Wooten. 2 of those students, Malaysia Jordan and Josh Wicks, earned an even higher distinction as AP scholars with honors, scoring a 3 or higher on at least 4 advanced placement exams. Principal Dr. Antonio Williams says the awards highlight the success of the school's new curriculum and academic goals launched back in 2022. That's something he was talking to with Kimberly earlier. And boy, speaking of academics, the athletics show right there as the Rattlers sack Adams for a significant loss. They put him inside of the 20 back to the 18.
If you're scoring at home, I'm going to give a full sack to Lewis McMillan, which is his 3rd sack of the season. He has some cleanup help, but he missed it initially, but was able to grab the ankles of Malachi Adams. So I'm going to go ahead and give the Jack linebacker his 3rd sack of the season, creative negative yardage situation for the Red Raiders.
Of course, we're talking about the AP scholars. You give him a full sack. I'm going to give him a 5 on that one. He scored a full 5 on an athletic placement on that one. So 3rd and long coming up here for the Red Raiders. Adams hauls off and throws it, trying to hook up with Darrell Blackman Jr., and he connects. Blackman Jr. hauls in a beautiful pass from Malachi Adams. 1st down into Rattler territory.
Explosive play by an explosive wide receiver, just a sophomore. It's going to be defensive pass interference. He was still able to make an outstanding catch. A great throw. He located the football. You'll see the defensive back get whirled around. Look at Malachi Adams. Plenty of time in the pocket. And you look at the throw, the defensive back and the wide receiver both turn around. And it's just a great play. Taylor Bumpers.
That's the freshman, Taylor Bumpers.
Picking on the freshman, 5'10", 155 pounds. But that's just a wonderful play by Blackman. And a great throw by our impact player, Adams.
First and 10 on the 38 of Leflore. As we approach under 4 minutes here remaining in the first half. Jonathan King asking him to push the clock from the press box here. Just when you thought BC Rain was out of it, no. Adams once again hauling off, trying to hook up with Rogers. Incomplete, broken up by the Rattlers.
Julius Rogers, the intended wide receiver, and that's just great defense with another great throw. You look at the accuracy, though, as Malachi Adams throwing it right on the sidelines to where only his wide receiver can catch it, not really putting it in a position where the DB can go up and intercept it. And again, an incomplete pass does stop the clock. 2nd and 10 for the Red Raiders. Offensive coordinator Thamus Davis, his playbook is wide open.
They toss it out to Rogers. Germani. Look at Germani running, getting past the 35 up to about the 33 or 34 yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it about 5 yards to go here for the Red Raiders.
Tall sweep to the short side of the field. Demetrius Toney comes up from his rover safety position and makes the stop, the 6'1", 186-pound senior with it, and it's going to be 3rd and 4. This is money down for the Red Raiders. And what do I mean by money down? With 3:20 remaining in the 2nd quarter, trailing by only a touchdown. You want to convert this from a momentum standpoint. You have timeouts to work with as well. They're going to call one to organize themselves.
One timeout for each team, and I believe Coach Yelding is going to burn one right here, his last timeout of the first half. He wants to make it worth it as well. 3:10, big play right here. 3rd and about 6 coming up for the Red Raiders. You don't want to lose the momentum, especially after that big pass from Malachi Adams to Darrell Blackman Jr., basically to keep them in this drive and keep it going. So Coach Yeldon takes it to the sideline to call the timeout. BC Rain travels from up the Parkway, dressing out about 51 players. They have 15 seniors on the team, returning 6 on offense and 5 on defense. And Leflore dressing out about 55. They have 8 seniors on the squad, returning 3 on offense and 4 on defense. And a big play right here, 3rd down and 6. That's what they're calling it here at the Snake Pit for the Red Raiders.
Malachi Adams, 4 out of 7 for 100 yards with that 1 touchdown strike to Mr. Blackman Jr., and if I'm here, I'm looking for Blackman Jr. again at some point in time on this drive.
They give it to Jermani Rogers. He's still running, keeping those legs going, but one last hit by Jacorian Gibson stops him right at the 31-yard line. I think there'll be about a yard or maybe a half yard short, Corey,
Look at
of
this
picking
leg.
up the first down.
Stands him straight up and then finishes him off right here. You can see Gibson just eyeing him up and teeing him up. The 5'9", 230-pound junior finishes him up 4th and 1.
4th and 1. Will they go back to Rogers again? They do. He eludes Gibson, and the turf monster eats him up right behind the line of scrimmage. That delay from Gibson. It didn't rain, Corey. I don't think the field was slippery, but that's the 3rd or 4th player who has tripped up tonight on the field turf.
What happens is you just don't get your balance when you see a defender coming at you. And that's what happened on that replay if we're able to re-rack that. When the handoff was made, he saw a defender and he wanted to plant and cut back, but the defender had already cut off his lane, and because of it, made it very tough. And you can look here, it's a great look at the camera. He tries to shift, and he tries to bounce to the outside and tries to cut one more time. And because he saw the defensive back, Tony, coming up, he had nowhere to go, knowing that he needed 2 yards to get a fresh set of downs. That's a huge stop by the Leflore Rattlers, who take over with 2:20 remaining here in the second quarter.
Ball on their own 32-yard line, and Leflore has called their final timeout. They want to discuss something, maybe get their 2-minute offense together. Don't forget, coming up, we'll have the Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge. Kimberly Dunn will go into the stands and select a spectator, ask them a question, give them the answers, multiple choice, and hopefully they'll get it correct so the cow can go moo and win them a Chick-fil-A prize pack, courtesy of Chick-fil-A and the halftime trivia challenge. And of course, Corey, we will feature the bands at the halftime. The Red Raiders brought their band, and of course the Leflore Mighty Marching Rattlers will perform as well. So we don't have to worry about any homecoming, any parents with the suits on and the tight church shoes, nothing like that tonight, Corey. So we'll actually get some bands on the field tonight at halftime.
And looking forward to that as always, as they put in tremendous work. And we know the tradition of the John L. Leflore Rattler Marching Band and the BC Red Raider fans looking forward to seeing what Parkway is bringing in as well. And you just see so many great drives here for the BC Red Raiders, and they just have 6 points on the board. And some other scores, Williamson leading Faith Academy 30-0, and that's a big one. MGM up 21-2 over Bryant.
1st and 10 for Leflore from their own 32. Jerome Williams taking his time. Takes it outside, past the 40, picks up the first down, pushed out of bounds on the Red Raider sideline. You can see number 13 for Leflore trying to get his hands back. Didn't want to get called for a block in the back. And I don't see any flags, so the chains are moving. First down, Leflore.
And that's what you want to do, get out of bounds. You're really running your extended 2-minute offense in this situation. As you mentioned, the timeout situation for Leflore.
Both teams are out.
Left.
Both teams are out of timeouts at this point.
And it's more important offensively when you don't have any timeouts left to value the sidelines and add extra time in that situation.
Williams flushed out once again. He's got to protect that ball as he is going to be sacked at the 40-yard line. That's about a 4-yard loss, 5-yard loss right there for Leflore.
Tyrese Sutton, 6'2", 245-pound defensive end. He's a senior. 5th tackle for loss on the season. Great pursuit coming down the line. And again, if you're Leflore, with BC Rain having no timeouts, you want to wait until 1 second remaining on that play clock before you snap the football.
Double stack receivers here for the Rattlers. 2nd down and long. They hand it off to Gardner. Look at Tyler Gardner as he is wrapped up and tackled back at the original line of scrimmage, so they get the 5 yards back. Well, this is easy math right here, Corey. 3rd and 10 coming up for the Rattlers.
And a little battle in the trenches going on right now. I'm watching 11 and 55 in the trenches really go at one another. 11 for BC Rain and 55 for Leflore. That's going to be Colin Walker along with number 11, Aaron Moore, just doing a
Georgia
lot
State
of
commit, one of our impact players.
a lot of talking with one another. And again, I love the competitiveness of these two young men, as one's on defense, one on offense, saying, look, you can't stop me, and no, you're holding me.
Play clock under 5 seconds. Williams taking his time. He's got to get rid of this. Does have a receiver, completes it, and that's going to be enough for the first down. I mean, he was on the chin of getting tackled as he gets that ball out and completed for Leflore.
And really lucky in that situation to be able to complete that one. And you mentioned ball security. If you're Jerome Williams, coming from that backside, you have to be aware of all defenders. They're just going to clock this football here with 25 seconds. The clock has not stopped.
40-yard line.
They've got to put at least 25 seconds back on this clock, because when he did clock it, I looked up and it said 26 seconds. So we'll see officially where they decide to go ahead and put this time-wise.
All of our scoring took place in the first quarter. No scoring in the second. But it's been back and forth, if you want to call it, between the 20s for both of these teams here in the second quarter. Jonathan King discussing it to decide how much time to put back on it. It'll be second and 10 at the 40-yard line. Let's see how much he asked to put back on the game clock here.
Yeah, I think you can go with 25 or 26 seconds and not go wrong at all. If you're in this game time situation, you definitely know that there is additional time. And like I say, when I looked and he clocked it was 26 seconds. So maybe 25 put on the clock, and they're discussing that in the headset to see exactly where they do want to bump it up to. But it's definitely more. 28 is where it's officially going to be set at.
28 seconds here. The clock will be set for ready to play. There's a signal right there from Jonathan King. 2nd and 10 for the Rattlers.
The down marker says first, but it is officially second because we saw him spike the ball.
Pressure on Williams. He throws it, gets it past the line of scrimmage.
And be mindful when you go to clock the football, the down marker says 1, but it is third.
It is third down right now. It should be third down.
Yep, on that far sideline.
And there's the change right there from second to third. That was second down. It is now third down and 10 for Leflore. 22 seconds remaining here on alumni night inside the Snake Pit at Rattler Stadium. Great crowd here tonight. Halftime headed your way. Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge coming up. Double stack receivers here to the near side.
Don't turn it over, Al. Don't take a sack either.
And they just keep it on the ground, trying to play conservative here. Nice run by the Rattlers. Eating up clock, basically, Jatorius Marzette.
Rattlers on the move.
Not enough for the first down. 9-8-7. The clock is ticking. I don't believe Leflore is going to get a playoff. But, hey, you're in the lead by 7 points. 13-6 is our halftime score. A very interesting first half we've had here at Leflore tonight, Corey.
Yeah, a lot of action in the first quarter of play. Leflore jumping out early, and they had a touchdown taken off the board, but scored anyway on that drive. And then on the very first series for BC Rain, because it was a bad snap, they go down 13-0 very quickly. BC Rain settles in and does a great job of answering after that initial turnover. And again, not a lot of offensive scoring in the second quarter at all. A lot of action, though, in the first quarter with plenty of more action here to go in this 5A Region 1 matchup.
Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. She's on the sideline.
Coach Douglas, before the game, you said in order for your team to be successful tonight, they needed to play fast and physical. Do you feel like they've done that so far in this competition?
Yes, ma'am. So far in the first half, we have been pretty physical. We made some mistakes, but overall, I'm pretty happy with our effort and our play tonight.
I know as you go into the locker room, you're going to talk to your team about some adjustments that they need to make. What are those things that you're going to say to them in preparation for the second half?
Just tell them it's 0-0 going into the second half. We still have to come out and fight. It's going to be a dog fight, and we have to play till the clock hits 0.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. I'll let you get with your team. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. We do appreciate that. At the half, our score 13-6. It is time for halftime. We'll take it down to the field and listen to the marching Red Raiders of BC Rain.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the field. Oh, that's it. Take no Rattlers. Entitled, Can You Stand the Rain? Formation. The sound of spirit would slow it down with the sound by mid-condition called Pretty Brown Eyes. leadership of Mr. Curtis McMillan, we present to you the Jassy Classy, but never trashy, beautiful, ravishing raindrop dancing to Michael Jackson's Beat It. Captain and co-captain this year, Miss Kiara Davis and India McNeil. Let's give it up for the sound of spirit marching. Red
Great job by the BC Reign marching Red Raider Band. Right now, let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. It is time for the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge.
All right, we are ready for this week's Trivia Challenge. I have 3 very special guests with me. I'm going to ask you what your name is and where you go to school, okay?
Shaylee.
And where do you go to school? Will brother know where y'all go to school? All right, brother, where do y'all go to school?
I go to school at Causey Middle School, and then they go to
Hutchins Elementary School. And what's your name?
Jace.
Jace. And then what's your name, sweetheart, and where do you go to school?
Jai, and I go to school at Hutchins.
Hutchins, and y'all are all brothers and sisters, right? Awesome. Are y'all ready for this week's Chick-fil-A trivia question?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you get this right, you will be the proud winners of our Chick-fil-A prize pack. And inside of there, we've got some goodies. We're going to show our people what we have in there. Let's see. Let's see. Let's look together. Let's see. Oh, yes, we need to stay hydrated. She's excited about that one. You're welcome. Keep your drink, is it cozy? It keeps your drink cold. The Chick-fil-A cow. Let's see if you can find those gift cards in there. Y'all find the gift? Oh, she found the gift cards. All right, are y'all ready for our question? If you get it right, you get everything in this prize pack. You ready? All right, come closer, sweetheart. You ready? Here's our question. What do you call the study of weather, climate, and the atmosphere? Is it astronomy, geology, meteorology, or oceanography? Okay? Do you think it's astronomy, geology, meteorology, or oceanography? Which one do you think it is? Y'all want to talk together? Here, look at those choices. What do you think it is, big brother? All right, say your answer. A. A, astronomy. It is not astronomy. Let's try again. So we've got either B, C, or D. Is it geology, meteorology, or oceanography? Which one do you think it is? Geology, B. It is not geology. Try one more time. I think you got it this time. I think you got it. Say it loud.
Meteorology.
Meteorology. There you go. All right. So guess what? Y'all just won our Chick-fil-A prize pack. Congratulations. All right, y'all look at everybody and say, go Leflore.
Great job, Kimberly. Everyone's a winner with the Chick-fil-A Trivia Halftime Challenge. Right now, we got to take it down to the field for the mighty marching Leflore Rattler Band.
look, now you'll know something that everybody else doesn't know. You'll know what to do.
My teacher, Miss Woodruff, teaches us that.
Right, look, there's
Thank you.
Thank you. So there's 3 of these.
sounds of the mighty marching Leflore Rattler Band as we get ready to wrap up halftime. We'll take a break, come back, bring you state polls. Also, we'll take a look at first half stats and show you a look at some of the other region standings here along the Gulf Coast. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Looking for unforgettable food and flawless service for your next event? Woodyard Catering is Mobile's top choice for personal chefs and customized catering. From weddings and baby showers to funerals and private dinners, we bring delicious, handcrafted dishes made with the freshest ingredients. Reliable, friendly, full of flavor. Whatever the occasion, we serve it with care. Call Woodyard Catering today, because every event deserves a taste of excellence.
Hi, I'm Renee Phillips, Director of Communication for Mobile County Public Schools and your host of Homeroom. I invite you to join us as we learn about the great things happening in our schools across the county. On Homeroom, you get to meet students and educators who are in our schools every day doing wonderful things. Join us as we take an in-depth look at their stories, issues, people, and policies of the Mobile County Public Schools. That's Homeroom. You can find it weekly right here on the MCPSS TV network.
Your experience is valuable, and now it pays. Have you taught at a private school, another district, or even retired from teaching? Mobile County Public Schools is now offering higher pay for your previous experience. That means you can step into the classroom at a higher pay level because your experience matters. Don't let your hard work go unrecognized. Apply today and start earning what you've worked for. Visit mcpss.com/job opportunities for more information.
At Genuine Bling, discover stunning fashion jewelry that turns heads for just $5. That's right, $5. From bold statement pieces to everyday sparkle, we've got the bling. So why wait? Treat yourself, your friends, or your entire wardrobe. Fashion fun for just $5. And don't miss the Bling Live. Join Charmaine Watson on Facebook, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 7 p.m. for exclusive pieces, styles tips, and surprise deals. Genuine Bling, where fashion only costs $5.
We welcome you inside the broadcast booth here inside the Snake Pit at Rattler Stadium. Time to take a look at the Alabama Sports Writers' top 10 polls throughout the state of Alabama. We'll start in 5A. Viger is still the #1 team for another week, and now the Williamson Lions have inched up a spot closer after Moody lost to Auburn last week. Moody drops to 4 as Fairview moves up 1 spot to 3. Through are the same from the top 4 are the same from last week, with Leeds and Scottsboro swapping spots after Scottsboro picked up their second loss of the season. So that means, Corey, we're about 2 weeks away from the game of the year taking place, Viger visiting Williams.
And I've been saying it all season long. We were headed for an epic collision course in 5A Region 1 versus 2. No question about it. Williamson with the best defense in the entire state of Alabama, top to bottom, and because of it, there'll be a surplus of people at Lad People Stadium. But 1-2, all coming from the Mobile County Public School System.
That's correct.
You have to love that.
Lions giving up 2.8 points per game on defense. Move up to the 6A poll. Clay, Chalkville, and Saraland hold on to their top spots for another week. Parker drops to 5 after losing a close one to Hoover last week. Homewood suffers their first loss of the season, dropping them down 2 spots to 10. That allows Spain Park to climb up 1 spot to 9. Pretty much here locally, Saraland still holding on. That loss Theodore took from Fairhope knocked them out of getting some votes this week, but they beat Murphy last night 31-0.
Clay Chalkville with a huge win over Thompson.
That was huge.
Last week, but Saraland still reigns supreme, heading for that epic showdown here in a few weeks against Theodore.
That's correct.
For who wants to become region champion there in 6A Region 1.
Speaking of Thompson, there's a new #1 team in 7A as Hewitt-Trussville ascends to the top spot after Central Phoenix City lost to IMG Academy last week, but Hewitt-Trussville is playing Thompson tonight. So that's going to drop Central Phoenix City down 1 spot. MGM is still hanging on at #4, and Daphne at 9 for another week, still outside the top 10, one of the hottest teams in the area. They lost their first game to Spanish Fort, but they've run off 5 in a row, the Fair Hope Pirates. So there's a look at your top 10 polls from the Alabama Sports Writers Association across the state. All right, let's get up the region standings. The other 2 regions we got to check out, 6A and 7A, Cora. We just talked about Saraland. They're pretty much on top along with Theodore. Theodore is up 1 because they beat Murphy last night. That's why they're 5-0. But Saraland pretty much got a good ball game tonight. St. Paul's and Gulf Shores playing over at E. Delaney Stadium in Mobile.
Yeah, that's going to be a wonderful matchup. But everybody's jostling for playoff position.
That's correct.
And that's
correct.
exactly what you see. As we mentioned here, the wonderful game that's going on that's going to determine who wants to be 3rd and 4th in 5A Region 1. But in 6A, again, Theodore and Saraland always atop of this region.
Let's take a look at 7A right quick. Pretty much it's all about MGM. They're undefeated in region play, 3-0. Fairhope, I just talked about them, one of the hottest teams in the area. Daphne right there hanging on the 2-1. Baker and Robertsdale playing tonight. Foley is playing Fairhope as well. That's an old school battle of Baldwin County. Remember, it used to be Fairhope, Foley, and Baldwin County, the only high schools you had in Baldwin County. So that's a look at 7A Region 1 standing. Corey, you got a score update. Big ball game going on in 4A, the #1 team and #2 team playing up in Jackson tonight.
Yeah, it's just an absolute struggle for St. Michael. Defeating right now Jackson 41-7. You know, you look at that score like that's almost a misprint, but so many great games that are going to be being played throughout these next 4 weeks.
Let's take it down to the field and check in with Kimberly Dunn. She's with Coach L.T. Yelding from BC Rain.
Coach Yelding, before the game, you mentioned that your team needed to play fast and physical and really watch the quarterback. Do you feel like that y'all have done that so far in this competition?
I think we got there towards as the game progressed. We got off to a slow start. They were able to go down and drive it right down our throat, and then we turned it over on the ensuing kickoff on a bad snap where they fumbled it and got it in the end zone. But I think after that we kind of settled down and started playing a little bit better. Had a big throwing catch from Malachi down to Darrell Blackman Jr., and that's one of the things we talked about, quarterback play as well. So now we just got to figure out a way to run the ball. No matter what we're giving us, they're giving us a 5-man front, so we got to do some different things to kind of get the running game going to free up some of that throwing stuff.
There are only 7 points that separate these two teams right now, a big region win on the line. What adjustments are you going to tell your team they need to make in order to win in the second half?
Right now, I'm just going to go in and tell them that we play mistake-free. The second half, we come out and execute on this first drive. We get the ball coming out of half, go down and score, and put the pressure on them. We kind of been playing behind with our backs up against the wall the entire game. So just come out, be crisp and efficient in what we do, put a little pressure on them, and then we'll see what happens.
All right, Coach, I'll let you get with your team. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that. Tony Perkins returns the ball up to about the 35-yard line. Nice return right there for the Red Raiders. Coach Yeldon talked about it, Corey. They kind of got punched in the mouth there in the first quarter. I mean, on their second series, they've given up a second touchdown. That's why we're at 13-6, our score tonight.
Got to answer this one here coming out of the half, and that's a great job of completing our pass coming out. Julius Rogers, the go-to from Malachi Adams, or to Malachi Adams to Rogers, a very familiar connection, probably the third or fourth time this evening that we've seen that, and tempo NASCAR by the Red Raiders.
9-yard pickup on the play. Adams tries to escape. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and just like that, it is 3rd and 1 here for the Red Raiders as we start off the second half of this contest.
Well, it's going to be huge for the Rattlers to have a stop. Lewis McMillan, the Jack linebacker, on that stop, bringing up 3rd down, and the Rattlers faithful have to make some noise here in the snake pit because this is going to be the biggest play here of the second half if the Rattlers are able to get a stop.
They keep it on the ground, give it to Jermani Rogers as he is tackled, but he picks up 2 yards. That's going to be a first down as he gets up to the 47-yard line.
And this young man has 8 rushing touchdowns on the season, 5'10", 185-pound senior. Offensive coordinator Thamus Davis revving things up with this NASCAR offense.
Quick tempo pass incomplete, trying to get it to Jermaine Luton. Catch the Rattlers off guard. 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Red Raiders.
That one almost intercepted by Lewis McMillan, and you have to be careful as the quarterback, Malachi Adams. Don't stare down your wide receiver. It stops the clock and brings up 2nd and 10 with 10:42 remaining here in the third quarter of action.
Back to Jermani Rogers, the Red Raiders go. Boy, look at him go. He busted open, and he could possibly be taking it to the house, but no, he's brought down inside of the 10-yard line. The Rattlers did not give up on the play. Ryan Austin in on the tackle.
Touchdown saving tackle from the secondary position. Ryan Austin really from his defensive end position chasing downfield, but that is showing coming out of halftime the strength of the running back into the red zone area for the Red Raiders.
First and goal from the 6-yard line. Back to Rogers they go. The offensive lineman just trying to push the pile if they can.
2 yards on the play.
Picks up 2 inside of the 5-yard line up to the 4. It'll be second and goal here for BC Rain.
And what I love to see is the fact that this NASCAR change of pace offense has really altered this drive here for the Red Raiders.
Back to Rogers one more time. Boy, met right at the line of scrimmage by the Rattlers defense. It bowls up right there. It's going to bring up third down and goal.
Jataris Morissette
in on it.
Bandit safety, 5'9", 170 pounds, senior going low on that tackle. And this is going to be at the second or third down of this drive here.
Yep. No gain on the play,
Cora. Second half.
No gain on the play. Third and goal from the 4-yard line. Big play right here for the Red Raiders. Handoff up the middle. Stop short of the goal line on the carry. Jordan Jackson comes over from receiver to play running back. It's going to be fourth and goal as they place it here at the 2-yard line.
And that's Jacorian Gibson and Micah Thomas on the stop. Biggest play of the second half.
Just trying to push it forward. Look at the pile. Adams with the ball. Their version of the tush push, and he comes out. That is 6 on the board for the Red Raiders.
Great job of the offensive line up front. Corey Walker, Quentin Beard, Elijah Reed, Caden Pritchard, and Joshua Mosley. Look at them all push forward. And, you know, I don't know if that's going to be aiding the runner there in that situation. Again, a lot of things are legal in the NFL and illegal in high school.
That is correct.
So what you see is a lot of them emulating. So we'll see here if you're pushing him forward. It's hard to have a holding in that tight situation. So we'll see exactly what Jonathan King comes away with. But I want to say because of the pushing from behind, there may be a flag. It's a huge play.
Call against the offense.
Maybe illegal participation.
I believe so.
And we'll see here.
Illegal procedure against the Red Raiders.
We don't have a mic on Jonathan King. And he's looking to the Leflore sideline to ask what they want to do.
Yeah, you definitely on fourth and
you don't
goal,
want to decline that one.
Look, you turn over on downs no matter how you look at it, but they're making sure they talk. I love the communication with the officials. And that illegal participation there. Being called against the Red Raiders.
And so LaFleur is going to accept the penalty because you don't want to decline it because it was a touchdown on the play, and that's going to push BC Rain. They were at the 2-yard line.
Illegal substitution was the call.
And they're going to.
That was the signal.
And is that 15 yards? The ball's at about the 17. That's a 15-yard penalty.
Replay it. Replay that down.
And it is fourth down.
As it is a pre-snap penalty
out. Fourth and goal. Pressure on Adams, and he is going to be sacked. The LaFleur defense strikes. And it's sacked and ball over on downs to the defense right there. Lewis McMillan in on that one.
Lewis McMillan having a little help from his teammate, who's really been one of the most valuable players tonight, Ryan Austin, coming and making another active play. But how huge is that pre-snap penalty with the illegal substitution that was signaled by our official? And we'll see here now if LaFleur is able to capitalize after turning the Red Raiders away at the goal line.
1st and 10 for the Rattlers. Boy, just eating up right there.
Play will be stopped in the backfield.
Ball at the 28-yard line. He's pushed backwards.
Tyrese Sutton, he sucks up the offensive player who is running the football. Tyler Gardner did not have a chance as firing off of the football. A great job by that young man making an outstanding tackle there.
Little quick out to Ace Davis. He doesn't need a screen. He's going to do it himself and pick up the first down. Davis pushed out of bounds at the 43 or 44-yard line. That's why he's wearing number 1 tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
And that is a huge Rattler first down. That was a line of scrimmage throw that was going to be a lateral.
That's right.
And it's a live football there, and the Rattlers are able to pick up a first down, having it at their own 44-yard line.
19-yard pickup on that play to Ace Davis. Hits the hole and pops back out. Tyler Gardner. And the ball comes out. Ground cannot cause a fumble. He is down by contact right there at about the 43-yard line.
And coming up, Braylon Fogg making that tackle, along with having a little help from his teammate, DeJuan Reed. But you look at it, a situation where the Rattlers were able to strike on defense and come away with a huge goal line stand, and we stand at 13-6 with 7 minutes remaining here in the third quarter of this contest.
Rain took the kickoff, started at their own 35-yard line, Corey. Put together a 65-yard drive. They came up empty-handed, and Leflore with their first possession here in the second half. Continuing what we saw in the second quarter, no scoring. They flashed it out to Tyler Gardner. One of the Rattlers lost his helmet. Gardner gets to the first down marker. He's hit, goes backwards, and 2 flags come out after the play ends.
Well, if you participate after your helmet comes off, that's an automatic penalty.
That's right.
And it was thrown on the far sidelines. So I was trying to chase and trace the football in that situation. Gardner making a nice run after catch. But when the helmet and the lid comes off, if you participate, that's a penalty against the team who decided to participate. And they say it's a block in the back.
Going against Leflore, blocking the back. We may be able to see it. Helmet came off early right there.
Be in the area of holding.
And that block in the back will cost the Rattlers a nice chunk of yardage for
Pushes
sure.
them back to the 39-yard line. Second and 15 coming up here for Leflore. And we have whistles.
There's another
flag on the play. Looks like a pre-snap penalty here.
And I tell you, the Rattlers are better be glad that that one was blown dead, because DeJuan Reed was coming up to blow that play up. The Mike linebacker, 5'10", 205-pound senior.
False start against Leflore. That's 5 more yards, so that'll make it 2nd and 20 coming up here.
Well, in 2nd and 20, Al, you really don't have a design play in this situation, especially with Jerome Williams, who's not a natural thrower, because
Correct.
we mentioned his natural position is running
He's
back.
running back, right.
He is a quarterback out of necessity after the 1st and 2nd string quarterback go down with injury for the Rattlers. And here in this situation, they call him bow leg. Williams can tuck and run the football, just needs to make sure they don't turn it over, Al.
Low snap. And kind of shovels it forward. Incomplete pass. The ball did go forward. I thought he was going to do a direct snap and take back off up the middle, but he didn't.
He thought about running in that situation. Then at the last moment, he did see one of his free release running backs there in the flat and was able to get it away. And because of it, you have a situation that's going to bring up 3rd and
Third down
very
and 20
long.
coming up here for Leflore. They get the goal line stand, but going backwards, the line to gain is the 46 of Rain if they want to pick up a first down here. Setting up the screen, and that goes absolutely nowhere. Vincent Ruggs is tackled immediately just shy of the 35-yard line. We have a Red Raider on the turf injured right now. I believe his teammates are going to help him up.
Yeah,
Number
Sutton.
35, Tyree Sutton.
And LaDarren Perkins, the Sam linebacker, 5'7", 150-pound sophomore, in on the stop. And you see him kind of limp off the field there for the Red Raiders. And Sutton definitely is in pain, but glad he's able to make his way off the field. And now special teams are going to be huge here for Leflore, trying to flip this field with 6 minutes left to go. Don't want to self-destruct here on special teams if you are the Leflore Rattlers. You want to make sure if you're Gibson, you go ahead and get another booming punt off, one like he had to flip the field earlier in the contest.
Jermaine Luton at his 31-yard line. Nice punt by Gibson. And Luton just going to stay away from it. And they're going to pin BC Rain at about the 12-yard line. Got to thank Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's on board tonight, and they are ready for all your game day and catering needs with subs by the box or by the bag. They can do it all. Tell them Al and Corey sent you and get the football discount on your order. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Also, we want to thank BSN Sports. If you need team apparel or equipment from baseball to volleyball, BSN Sports have it, and all sports in between. Check them out online at bsnsports.com. BSN Sports, the heart of the game.
And you know, I said to myself earlier, that score to St. Michael Jackson just couldn't be right. 28-19 at the half. That sounds more like a St. Michael Jackson 1 versus 2 matchup, somebody that we're probably going to see in the 4A semifinals down the line.
Ball on the 13-yard line, setting up the screen to Julius Rogers. And I believe he caught it.
He did.
Blown up. It was incomplete, but it was blown up. Yeah.
Gibson there, right there, Johnny on the spot for the Rattlers, and you can tell him just waiting from his defense, just take too long to develop, and not any blockers for the wide receivers out front. And because of it, the Red Raiders are going to be in their own, deep in their own territory. We saw him fumble the ball earlier. A scoop and score for Leflore. Could it happen 2 times in a row? Let's see if BC Rain has learned from the first quarter mistakes.
Ball on the 8-yard line, 1st and 15. That's a live ball once
like
again.
I said,
another snap and a touchdown. Leflore capitalizes off of it. That looks like Lewis McMillan jumped on top of it, Corey.
Al, I just said.
Wow, you just did.
Lightning's not going to strike twice in the same time. Could that be possible? Folks that are listening and watching, Lightning did strike twice. Lewis McMillan with the scoop and score. He's going to get flagged for unsportsmanlike after the play, but nonetheless, Leflore with the same exact result that they got on their second score early in the first quarter. This time it's a much shorter distance, and BC Rain struggles in short situations. The touchdown is going to stand. It's no question that it is unsportsmanlike, spiking the football by Lewis McMillan, but it does give 6 more points for Leflore on another scoop and score.
This one from 8 yards. The one earlier in the ball game was from 9 yards out. Just a 1 yard difference, Corey. But unbelievable, almost the same play. You called it, man. Lightning struck twice here for the Rattlers. Defense, something else in this ball game tonight. And Kyle Simmons on for the extra point to try to extend this lead to 13.
And that's just amazing, Al. When you look at that situation, it's just the quarterback to center exchange struggle.
Yeah.
And being deep in your own territory, Leflore, credit them being able to flip the field. You see the dividends that it pays. 7 points on the board for the Rattlers, who now lead 20-6 here in the third quarter. And the extra point is good. The scoop and score. McMillan with the spike. Leflore leads 20-6.
Your experience is valuable, and now it pays. Have you taught at a private school, another district, or even retired from teaching? Mobile County Public Schools is now offering higher pay for your previous experience. That means you can step into the classroom at a higher pay level because your experience matters. Don't let your hard work go unrecognized. Apply today and start earning what you've worked for. Visit MCPSS.com/job opportunities for more information.
We welcome you back to the Snake Pit at Rattler Stadium, and the Rattlers are striking tonight. Corey, unbelievable. You called it, man. We have seen the Lightning strike twice tonight for the Rattlers. Almost same exact play. Quarterback center exchange, fumble, and 2 defensive scores that Leflore takes advantage of.
You know,
unreal.
When you look and you really watch the game, and you're called an analyst for a reason, and you analyze what you see on film and what you see in warm-ups and what you see in the game, and that one was just too easy. Leflore kicking off deep. We'll see if BC Rain can make them pay. A great sky kick, and
Fumble.
it's a live football, and the Red Raiders are going to have to try to get on top of it.
Javaris Yeldon just eaten up by the Rattlers, and that defensive intensity carries over to special teams as they're going to pin this one just inside the 20, I believe at the 18 or 19. So once again, Leflore pins BC Rain back. We told you at the onset this was a critical game. Both of these teams 1-2 in region play. Overall, Leflore 1-4, BC Rain 3-2. But what matters is what you do in region play will get you to the next level. So right now, the momentum all on the Leflore sideline.
If you're wearing orange and green for Leflore, you're really excited, and you can hear the band, you can hear and feel the crowd here in Tomoville on the campus of John L. Leflore High School here on Alumni Night. And again, the Red Raiders cannot afford to have any problems here in their own territory snapping the football.
1st and 10 from their own 22. That pass, they're going to say it's incomplete. The arm was coming forward. You can see our buddy Charlie Ship right there saying incomplete. 2nd down, pressure once again from this Leflore defense on Malachi Adams.
And again, it's Tyler Dinkins-Williams from his nose tackle position. Defensive coordinator Ryan Williams is happy about that. And if you hear me talk about Ryan Williams, that's Ryan Williams Sr.
That's correct.
His son is the 18-year-old from the University of Alabama Crimson Tide. That would be Deuce from Saraland High School. That's his son. Ryan Williams is the defensive coordinator here at Leflore. And the Rattlers are really playing with a lot of tenacity, swarming to the football and striking, like I mentioned on my checklist, in what they had to do. And we'll go back and revisit the checklist at the start of the 4th quarter.
Trying to push it straight ahead with Adams with the direct snap on 3rd down. Coming up a bit short. No gain on the play. As our PA announcer Tim Hollis said, that goes nowhere. 4th down coming up here for BC Rain.
And
pinned deep in their territory.
I'll flip the field here.
Oh, you got to punt this one. You got to punt this one.
And here's a nugget and a number for you. A number nugget for you, if you will, Al. BC Rain 3-84 since 2000 when scoring 10 or less. 3-84.
Not looking good. Back to receive Jataris Morzette for Leflore and Tyler Gardner. Timothy Weirs gets off a nice punt, end over end. Leflore stays away from it, and BC Rain is going to down it at the Leflore 40-yard line. Good field position coming up here for the Rattlers. 2:32 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Don't forget, between the quarters, we'll have our Game of the Week Brain Buster question. We'll pose it to Corey, so stick around for that between the 3rd and the 4th quarter, our Game of the Week Brain Buster. But right now, it's Leflore defense busting it up tonight, Corey, showing out and scoring and taking it away. So that's their 12th takeaway this season.
Right now, the Rattlers cannot turn the football over. It's imperative that they value this pigskin here on this drive. Would like to bleed out the clock also.
Williams just going to keep it, tosses it out. Dangerous play. Gets it to Ace Davis. Davis gets enough for the 1st down as he crosses the midfield stripe into Red Raiders territory. Boy, that was pretty dangerous right there from Williams.
But when you're looking at what he does, he's not having to complete a 5 to 10-yard pass. All of them have almost been shovel passes.
Correct.
Or shovel passes to his running back or wide receiver, almost laterals that his passes he's completed tonight. He's not known as a thrower. The 3rd-string quarterback known as a runner.
He throws this time, has a man, That should be PI right there. And the flag comes out. Pass intended, I believe, possibly Blake Phillips. Leflore is wearing orange jerseys tonight, so some of these numbers are one number off from the roster supplied us. I don't have exactly an 18.
That's all right, Al. We know he's out there, and you know, it's not our fault if you don't supply us with the correct numbers there. And because of it, we can't give kudos to the young man, but
I'm
we know
assuming
he's
it might be
definitely
Blake
making a
Phillips.
play.
He's the closest number to 18. I know it's not Taylor Bumpers. He plays defense and wears 17. That I do know.
Rolling away from the pocket.
But
you
no
see
PI, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Bowleg, Jerome Williams there, and the official just called it incomplete.
Pressure pass, incomplete. Red Raiders brought it right there. He was trying to dump it and unload it to Tyler Gardner. 3rd and 10 here for Leflore. Crucial series.
Get on your feet, Rattler Nation, for the Green and Phillips judge toss.
And I will say
Williams
this,
comes
Al,
to the sideline, gets some instruction. Go ahead.
here on 3rd and 10, 1:52 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. What you want to make sure of is that you do not turn the football over. And that's going to fall on Jerome Williams, the senior quarterback / running back / athlete for the Rattlers. A good look there at Jerome. They call him Bowleg. That's his nickname. He's going to have to take care of this football.
Pressure on him.
And there's the fumble.
He throws it
Incomplete.
into the ground, gets it incomplete.
I like how Jonathan, our white hat, Mr. Jonathan, was right on top of that and said it was an underhand pass. And that's why it was more like, I say, a shovel that he's been throwing. He has not thrown it or pitched it in that situation, but he has to feel the pressure coming, and it could have been dangerous. Look at it, how it's going to be ruled. It's going to be ruled an underhand toss, and that's a tough call if you're the BC Red Raiders.
Because I didn't even see a hand coming forward, Corey. That was close to a fumble there from our vantage point. Great replay from the guys in the truck. Wow, that was really close to a fumble. Coach Yeldon and the crew might be a little unhappy on that one. Nice punt from Jacorian Gibson, but Luton is going to field it at the 10. Comes to the far side. One blocker gets the help. I don't see any flags yet. Leflore regroups, and they tackle him at about the 37 or 38-yard line.
Well, again, another special teams play by the Rattlers. Jacorian Gibson, to me, really, he's been one of the MVPs of this game for the Rattlers, the way he's been able to flip the field 3 times tonight. As far as from a special team standpoint, without question, that's exactly what you want to see as a special teams quarterback on the sidelines. And I will say this, Al, the BC Red Raiders, with 1:29, have to answer on this drive right here to end the 3rd quarter.
Hand out to Jamani Rogers, and his hands are pretty much just shut down. Jacorian Gibson in on the tackle right there behind the line of scrimmage. 1-yard loss on the play.
Jacorian Gibson, money linebacker, coming up and making a huge stop. This 4-2-5 defense is going to be, through the years, a little bit more exotic when it comes along with the age when these young fellas become juniors and seniors.
Darryl Blackman Jr. getting instruction from Malachi Adams. Comes to the near side here. Adams has time, just flings it. Rogers almost had it. One would say, did he push off? No flag on the play. Had to wait on that ball from Adams a bit there after he ran his route.
Trying to pick again on the freshman corner, Taylor Bumpers, but he held his own there out on an island versus Julius Rogers, and it hit Rogers in the hand, just weren't able to corral that football, and now it's 3rd and 11, and you can look for big 99 for the Rattlers. Jamarius Hawkins, our impact player, to get some pressure here on Malachi Adams, the quarterback.
3rd and 11, 44 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Adams has time, steps up, and steps up right into the hands of Hawkins. Corey, you called it. Man, you're going to have to play your lotto numbers this week. 99 was waiting on him and wrapped him up.
Just a great job by Jamarius Hawkins. the 5'11", 307-pound senior. And impact players, big-time players make big-time plays. And in this situation, it's going to force the Red Raiders to punt this football away. But great pressure coming from the ends by Gibson and Austin, allowing Hawkins to squeeze the pocket.
Nice punt by Weirs. Rashad Miles going to try to pick it up on the hop. He does. Past the 50, the 40. He's turning on the Jets. One guy to beat the punter. Rashad Miles to the house. It's a punt return touchdown for the Rattlers.
Special teams play by another impact player, back-to-back impact players. Jamarius Hawkins on defense, and then you turn around and number 21, Rashad Miles, the 5'10", 165-pound sophomore, saying, look, Mom, I got into the end zone. And Ashley Miles has to be in the stands cheering up and down for her son, Rashad Miles, who scores 6 for the Leflore Rattlers.
Kyle Simmons on for the extra point. And we can see Miles' former coach back there, Matt Moore, smiling after that punt return touchdown, one of his former Palmer Pillins players. Simmons' extra point is up, and it is no good. Take a look at the replay here, Corey.
Ow, look at the
right
burners.
At the end of the third quarter.
Look at the burners on Miles. You thought it was Peter, get away from it. He decides to catch it on the hop. He turns it up, and you can see the young man secure the football. Great camera shot. No chance he makes the last man miss. He's able to get into the end zone. Miles runs for Miles and is able to get 6 for the Leflore Rattlers.
All right, let's the end of the third quarter. What a way to end the third quarter with the Rattlers getting the score. Let's take a look at our game of the week brainbuster as Leflore scores twice in the third quarter. All right, Corey, currently Bryant and Leflore are tied for the longest playoff drought for any MCPSS school at 11 years. Name the last Leflore coach who led the Rattlers to a playoff win. Currently, Bryant and Leflore are tied for the longest playoff drought for any MCPSS school at 11 years. Name the last Leflore coach who led the Rattlers to a playoff win. We'll reveal that question sometime coming up here in the fourth quarter. What an outstanding third quarter. We started off a bit slow, didn't think we were going to have any scoring. Leflore scores on defense, and they score on special teams to extend their lead. 26-6 is our score, up by 20.
And that's just a great special teams play. And Coach talked about winning all 3 phases. Coach Yelding, the 7th-year head coach for BC Rain. And so far tonight, that's a live football.
That's a live ball.
It dies right there. Let's see, it did cross. Right there.
Jonathan King called it. It just crossed the goal line. Wow.
Well, if we're able to bring up my checklist here in the truck, we'll take a look at Corey's checklist to begin the game and what had to happen and what has happened so far. For BC Rain, they needed to reign supreme at the line of scrimmage, have not been able to dominate that box. Don't get hit with the drought offensively. We've seen that outside of their score in the first quarter, and check the box in all 3 phases and special teams. Have not been able to do that. Leflore, strike early. They were definitely able to strike early. And you look at BC Rain trying to strike now here to start the fourth quarter.
Look at Rogers on the carry. Jermani Rogers into Leflore territory inside of the 25-yard line. Big first down play right there from the Red Raiders.
And also for Leflore, they needed to limit the penalties. They've done a great job of that. And clock control by the Rattlers has been fantastic. Tackling this young man high is not an option, folks, as he just continues to bounce off of folks. Jermani Rogers, 5'10", 185-pound senior with the most explosive run of the contest for the Red Raiders, as they've had a long touchdown pass as well. But so far, you've had some great opportunities here for Leflore, and I just know the Rattlers have an opportunity here to come away with a huge 5A Region 1 win here early in the fourth quarter, trying to take it late.
Our executive producer wants to put the answer up, so we'll put the question up first. All right, Corley, here it is. currently, Bryan and Leflore are tied for the longest playoff drought for any MCPSS school at 11 years. Name the last Leflore coach who led the Rattlers to a playoff win.
Why is there no multiple choice here, Al?
No multiple choice here, Corey. It's almost the end. You got distance learning day coming up. First quarter's wrapping up. No multiple choice here.
Well, I know Chris Raymond and Anthony Schamberger, but, you know, Chris Raymond, I know, definitely had a huge playoff win, and, you know, that's one of the last times I remember and recall Leflore being in the playoffs.
All right, we'll get the answer up after this play. 1st and 10. Pressure on Adams. He tosses it. Does have Daryl Blackman Jr. in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Flag on the play, and that's a touchdown. 25 yards from Malachi Adams to Daryl Blackman Jr. That's Blackman Jr.'s second touchdown of the night.
And that's a huge score. When you look at being
Lewis
draped
McMillan
upon,
had him in the grasp, as a matter of fact.
and then just being able to go ahead and come away with a nice grab and touchdown throw. And that'll be 6 more for the Red Raiders, and they needed that one. Needed that one very bad. A quick score by the Red Raiders to start the 4th quarter, and they're going to go ahead and decide to go for 2 to make it 26-14, trailing by 14 here early in the 4th quarter.
Offense out on the field. Tossing it. Play is not going to work. It's fumbled as he tried to toss it to Rogers. So the 2-point try no good. Our score 26-12. Red Raiders down 14 points. All right, we'll get the question back up and get that answer revealed for you here between the kickoffs. So currently, Bryan and Leflore are tied for the longest playoff drought for any MCPSS school at 11 years. Name the last Leflore coach who led the Rattlers to a playoff win, Corey. So who do you want to go with?
Oh, I like Chris Raymond. Chris Raymond.
Chris Raymond?
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. We'll get him to hit the button in the truck. And, Corey, the answer is you are correct. Christopher Raymond in 2009. Leflore beat Gulf Shores 27-14. Corey, here's your +1.
Yep.
Christopher Raymond is my classmate.
And
class of 1988.
And again, he's one of the few coaches that has had a 2-year tenure or 2-stint tenure
Coached
here
twice.
as the head coach
Coached twice
at
here at
John L.
Leflore.
Leflore
Sure did.
High School. And he's a Rattler, like you mentioned.
He's a Rattler, yep.
And had success here during his tenure as an athletic director and head coach. And, you know, I know he would have wished he had the opportunity to have this on campus stadium, but had a couple of great runs for the Rattlers and got them to the playoffs a couple of times during his tenure.
Right.
Two-time tenure as head coach of the Leflore
Retired
Rattlers.
here from the school system and working up in Georgia right now as an athletic director up in Georgia. Tyler Gardner with the kickoff return. Still on his feet at the 40, pushed out of bounds at the 41 or 42. So BC Rain comes back to answer the strike Leflore had with the special teams touchdown, that punt return from Rashad Miles. But they come back with a touchdown pass to Daryl Blackman Jr., keeping them in the game, down 2 scores right now. 11-18 remaining in the 4th quarter, so you can't get too excited. As you like to say, Corey, get caught looking at the clock. You can't get too excited if you're a Leflore fan right here.
No, you can't, and you just have to hold on here. And you don't want to implode if you're the Rattlers by looking at the scoreboard and being caught up. BC Rain's going to continue to do everything they can defensively to try to create that turnover. Aaron Moore has been close a couple of times, along with a couple of his defensive backs. So there he is once again trying to get into the backfield.
Jerome Williams with the carry. They came out in a formation, 5 wide, empty set. You could kind of see that one developing. And I think we're going to get a heavy dose of Williams carrying the ball here just to eat up as much clock as Leflore can. He's forced out of bounds, stops the clock at 11:10, but he's in BC Rain territory.
Well, you just have to make sure in this situation, if you're the Rattlers, that you protect the pigskin as they across midfield at the Red Raider 44-yard line now. Don't snap the ball until 1 second remaining on that play clock.
They bring over Jacorian Gibson, the big fella from defense, to let him carry the rock for a bit, give Tyler Gardner a rest, and we have one Red Raider on the field holding his leg. While he's down on the field, take a look and congratulate middle school flag football semifinals are coming up this Tuesday. In the small division, you got Lott going to be playing Callaway. Alba's going to be at Chestang. And in the large division, McGill at Causey. And Hankins taking on our good buddy right here, China Powell, head coach for the Scarborough team. They're going to be in the semifinals. The winners of these matchups will play each other on Tuesday, October 14th in the small and large division championship. So China's in the playoff, Corey. China's in the playoff. No surprise I'm saying that now. Come on.
Let me tell you
she won it
about
last year, man.
Our statistician, China Powell. You know, every week we have Matt Moore and China Powell up here in the booth with us. They just give us instantaneous stats. But China Powell, we mentioned her playing for Charlie Shipp and Davidson earlier, a great hooper in her time. Now she's coaching great hoopers. She wins middle school flag football championship. She wins middle school basketball championship. She's a phenomenal teacher to go along with the athletic director. So we're just in the midst of greatness here in the booth each and every week.
She even brings her abacus to work the numbers sometime for her. So, you know, she can do it all. Pass out to Ace Davis, almost a lateral flag on the play. Let's see if this is going to come back against Leflore or if it will be called against the Red Raiders. So that's a look at the flag football semifinals coming up for the girls next Tuesday. Here's Jonathan King getting the call from his crew.
And because he's not juiced up, we just read his lips and
holding on the play.
Look at the signal, which is holding from the spot. But 10:39 remaining. The Red Raiders with all 3 timeouts. The Rattlers with just 2. But this has been all Leflore here so far to start this game.
Ball at the 46-yard line. Yeah, Leflore called a timeout, and it is on the board, so they have used 1 timeout. That play goes backwards for Leflore, and Gibson loses his helmet on the play, and another Red Raider is down, Corey.
It's just that time of the game to where you just start
That's
seeing
Sutton
depth
again.
become a factor, and because of the early injury to Sutton, the injury bug has not left. But that's the difference between being injured and hurt. And because earlier he was just hurt, now he's actually officially injured once again.
Take a look at the scores yesterday from middle school. Mobile County Training pulls the upset over Booker T. Washington. Barnes shuts out Clark Shaw. Also, Phillips shuts out Denton. Scarborough, that game with Phillips Prep. China, what happened over there? Forfeit? Oh, okay, yeah, forfeit. All right. Causey beats Grand Bay 38-13. Sims over Hankins. Lott over Jackson. And Pillins with the shutout, 21-0. If I'm correct, with Pillins winning yesterday, that means my buddy Matt Moore should be in the playoffs. And there he is at the number 2 seed. So Pillins going to travel to take on Causey. Burns is going to take on Scarborough in the large division. So, Corey, we have to pull for China and Matt because we need a battle of the statisticians in the championship game. And in the small division, Denton taking on defending champion Lott and Phillips Prep taking on Booker T. Washington. Next week, don't forget, October 16th, we got the middle school championship for you. Yeah, we're going to home rule. We're pulling for the Scarborough Knights and the Pillins Pirates to make it to the championship game on the large side. So we can have the battle of the statisticians here. I can't. I'm going to pull all the tricks I can on that one, Corey.
Vested interest by us here in the booth.
Leflore heard what you said. They're letting the play clock pretty much just run down on 3rd down here. Williams connects with Ace Davis, but his momentum actually carries him backwards. He can't get any forward progress. He's about 2, maybe 3 yards short of the 1st down marker.
It's going to be a flag against Leflore there on the block. And,
there it is, yep.
You tried to hold off the defender who was coming and bearing down. It looked like Aaron Moore was coming in to deliver a death blow, so to speak. And, it's a great catch by the Rattlers, but in that situation, you're just going backwards. 9:27 remaining here on this drive, but you want to just find a way to waste and use as much time as possible.
Use that clock. BC Rain declines the penalty, so it is 4th down. Jermaine Luton setting up at his own 16-yard line to receive this punt. Gibson gets a good punt, end over end, angles it out of bounds. Let's see where they spotted at. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, at the 30. They're going to call it at the 30-yard line.
And here are some score updates. 5A Region 1. To me, one of the most dominant defense I have ever seen in high school football continue to strike. Williamson up 54-0 against Faith Academy.
No surprise
and
there.
Folks, if you don't know this Williamson line defense, I've said it from week 1 when they played Wayne County. This is the best defense in the entire state of Alabama, regardless of classification.
No surprise there, Corey.
Dabney leading Davidson 35-14. Spanish Fort all over Blunt 41-6. Baker defeating Robbinsdale 28-9. Here's a great game. Cottage Hill Christian.
I was going to ask you about that.
Defeating T.R. Miller.
They defeated him?
Defeating T.R. Miller 21-14.
UMS Wright upset T.R. Miller last week, as a matter of fact.
And Fairhope and Foley 17-13 in the third quarter as well.
BC Rain going backwards after that penalty off of the kickoff.
And also Viger blanking Alberta 39-0 as Coach Renardo Jackson celebrating his birthday today.
There you go. So
celebrating with the W.
Push the Red Raiders back 5 yards. Going to be 1st and 10 now. Well, actually 1st and 15. They have not changed the down marker on the field. It still says 4th down. Corey, you got some pull in Tomoville. Can't you text them or something? Oh, there it is. There it is. 1st down. Adams has plenty of time, but flags on the play.
And I will say this, folks. When the BC Rain Red Raiders snap the football, defensive coordinator Ryan Williams is telling his team, you better know where number 4 Daryl Blackman Jr. is. And if you need help coming over the top, put a safety to go ahead and roll over and double team Blackman Jr. because he's accounted for 2 huge touchdowns tonight. We know the speed of Julius Rogers, number 3, but number 4 has really hurt you, and White has done a great job for the Red Raiders tonight.
Back-to-back false start penalties. So now, 1st and 15. Ball at the 20-yard line of BC Rain. Hand off to Rogers. He picks up a couple of yards and tackled by the Rattlers. Maybe 2 or 3 on the play. No correction. That's not Rogers on the play. Javelin Finley, our first time calling his name, Javelin Finley tonight.
And that's Makai Thomas, 5'8", 205 pounds, senior MAC linebacker, making that money tackle.
Adams rolling to his right once again. Daryl Blackman Jr. turned both ways, kind of got turned around, incomplete. But you said it, Corey, you got to keep this guy in front of you. Do not let him get behind you.
Know where he is at all times if you are Leflore, because you know what's going to happen if you're the Rattlers.
He got behind Demetrius Toney that time.
Yeah, and that's just something that you cannot allow to happen. And I guarantee that's something Ryan Williams, Sr., is making note of for Leflore on the sidelines.
3rd down coming up here for the Red Raiders. Ball on their own 23-yard line. And we have stoppage. Flag on the play. Penalty marker. Could it be another false start against?
Yeah, the way the Red Raiders
the
are
Red
reacting,
Raiders,
yes.
Unbelievable. That's the 3rd false start on this series.
And Corey Walker is going nuts there at the line, just screaming in frustration at his teammates. The left tackle, 5'10", 230-pound sophomore. Not happy about that at all.
Look at the screen, y'all. Look at the screen.
I don't know if you're asleep there in the stands, but the Rattlers say they're bored with what BC Rain is doing right now.
3rd and long coming up here for the Red Raiders. Adams with time. Rolling to his left, pressure on him, and almost got him, did not. Just throws it up there to Blackman Jr. Incomplete ball, bounces around. Blackman Jr. totally upset, thought he was held on the play. That's going to bring up 4th down. Down 14 points with 8:20 remaining here. And here comes the special teams crew.
Felt he was pushed in the back.
He felt that way. He was upset.
Run it back one more time if we're able to re-rack that one to see if he did get pushed in the back. You know, we have the benefit of replay here at the MCPSS. And number 4 is the target. Malachi gets spinned around, and you're looking there. He wants that push, and kind of disguising that hand in the back of the defender. Rashad Miles there doing a good job defensively, keeping them away from the completion.
Miles and Morzette back to receive this punt. Kind of goes straight up and back down from Weirs there.
That punt went high in the air.
And they're going to mark this, I believe, at the 46-yard line of BC Rain. So Leflore is going to benefit some great field position already in BC Rain territory on the plus side.
Just having a fun time playing the game of football, the Leflore defense. And I see Ryan Williams, Sr., talking to his defense on the play and talking to Demetrius Toney, especially the Rover safety. But the Rattlers here with 3 timeouts remaining and 8:09 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Ball security, ball security, ball security is what they're preaching for the rest of the game.
Hand off to Ace Davis. They're using a platoon of guys. That's a fumble.
That's what I'm saying, Al.
You just talked about it. I was just about to say they're using a platoon of guys in running back tonight. Ace Davis with his first carry, and he fumbles it, goes backwards.
But again, I mean, it's just from me watching countless hours of film review and just knowing where the weaknesses lie and where teams implode on themselves. I just said ball security, and here it is. You have no ball security by the running back. It's something that Leflore, the only way they can lose this game is to beat themselves or for BC Rain to punch it out. And that's a great job of BC Rain desperately scratching and clawing, doing what they need to try to create a turnover.
Fumble again, Tyler Gardner. He fumbled that one himself. I think Rain has recovered it.
And if you don't want it, we'll take it.
And that is BC Rain's football, Leflore's first turnover. The handoff was clean, but Gardner just kind of threw the ball out. Here it is, right here.
How many times do you want me to say it? I just said it.
Turnover on the play.
And I'll say it a little louder for those in the back of the room that didn't hear me say it the first time or the second time. You must take care of the football. You implode if you're the Rattlers by not taking care and putting 2 hands on the football and securing it. And it was put right into the belly, and you just have to value. BC Rain's going to capitalize here.
Jermani Rogers with the carry, and that should be enough for a first down. I believe he gets past the first down marker as he is pushed out of bounds, stops the clock. A flag is on the play near the 25-yard line. Wait for the call here from Jonathan King. See if that first down is going to stand for BC Rain.
Well, I will say this. It's a perfect opportunity for this Red Raider team that has kind of been sleeping. You're awakening a sleeping giant, and you're giving them an opportunity to get right back in this football game, and the Red Raiders must capitalize right here. There's no question 3 points do them no good. They must score a touchdown, and if I'm Adams, yes, I am going to force the football into Darrell Blackman Jr. I'm going to make this Leflore defense stop me from a wide receiver standpoint, especially being on the short side of the field, which is where Blackman Jr. is lined up, because really it's going to be tough to double him, and he's on a freshman right now, Taylor Bumpers. So that's exactly where I'm going with no help over the top, and right now I'm not seeing any help over the top, and it's got to be Demetrius Toney coming up if there is any help from his safety position to shadow over.
Finally, we get the call here from Jonathan King.
Legal substitution.
Legal substitution, and then unsportsmanlike against Leflore. So they're going to march this one off. And that's going to put BC Rain inside of the red zone.
here it is here.
Wow.
BC Rain must capitalize. Jump ball here. If you're not able to run this in with Rogers, jump ball to Blackman. A great call.
6-yard line. They give it to Jermani Rogers. That's a 6-yard score for Jermani Rogers. And BC Rain inches closer.
Short side of the field, capitalizing off a turnover, and you have awakened a sleeping, reigning giant, and because of it, able to walk into the end zone and score his 9th rushing touchdown of the season. And Coach Yelding, he will have an opportunity here to go for 2
once
instead
again
of kicking the extra point.
26-18.
That's a huge answer.
Trying to make it a 6-point game. Hand off to Jermani Rogers. Does he have the corner? He does. Runs past Rashad Miles, scores 2. And just like that, we have a 6-point game. Rain is not out of it. Down 6 to Leflore with 7 minutes remaining.
Looking for unforgettable food and flawless service for your next event? Woodyard Catering is Mobile's top choice for personal chefs and customized catering. From weddings and baby showers to funerals and private dinners, we bring delicious, handcrafted dishes made with the freshest ingredients. Reliable, friendly, full of flavor. Whatever the occasion, we serve it with care. Call Woodyard Catering today, because every event deserves a taste of excellence.
Make sure you mark your calendar coming up. Distance Learning Day. Next Friday, October 10th, it's the end of the first quarter. So Distance Learning Day, parents, make sure you mark your calendar, make some plans. Kids will not report to school next Friday, October the 10th, end of the first quarter. We are near the end of this ball game, 7 minutes remaining, and BC Rain fighting and clawing, trying to stay in it. Whoever wins this game inches one step closer possibly to getting a playoff berth. Both of these teams 1 and 2. Little sky kick right there. Nice grab by Leflore.
Having to field that one, Amir Sneed. Great job, because if he does not field that, all your momentum has shifted right back into BC Rain. But Tomaville tough, T-ville tough. Here we'll see if the Rattlers are able to weather this rainy storm that is coming by these Red Raiders. And I will say this, Uncle Mo, momentum has a very funny way of shifting itself, and sometimes you play not to lose. 15 rushes, 154 yards, and 1 touchdown by Mr. Jermani Rogers. 5'10", 185-pound senior, but Leflore can't play not to lose. They have to continue to attack, just protect the pigskin.
1st and 10 for the Rattlers. They put it in the hands of Jerome Williams, running back turned quarterback for the Rattlers. He gets it up to the 39-yard line of Leflore. 2-yard carry, and the clock ticks, ticks, ticks. BC Rain has all 3 complements of their timeouts remaining. Leflore with 2 timeouts.
Do not snap the football until there is 1 second remaining on the play clock. By any means, if you're a Rattler, if you're the Red Raider, because the Rattlers are going to take so long to snap the football, you want to be ripping and stripping. We call that the can opener drill, to go ahead and create and force another turnover by the Rattlers. The first one we've seen led to points off turnovers. Leflore has points off of turnovers, and so does BC
Jerome
Rain.
Williams puts his hand on his helmet. It's like, how could you not be ready? That's a delay of game.
No,
they got the timeout just in time to prevent the delay of game penalty. So Leflore has to burn a timeout. That leaves them with 1. 6:02 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Corey, very good ball game. No scoring in the second quarter, but Leflore puts up 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. But guess what? In the fourth quarter, BC Rain responds with 2 scores of their own as well. Our score, 26-20, a very good ball game tonight.
And you get a great look at the Leflore band trying to get the crowd excited here in Tomaville, as this on-campus stadium with this big new Jumbotron in the snake pit. And it's a situation, 5A Region 1, both of these teams fighting for their playoff life.
Yeah.
And we can see this as evident in a great football game. Our second week in a row here on the MCPSS
Great
television network that we've had
Speaking
a great
of
game.
the Jumbotron, got to shout out our buddy Bruce Canella in there running the Jumbotron. He works with us on the crew, but he's now the Jumbotron operator at the Snake Pit at Rattler Stadium. So I saw Bruce early. Got an entire booth to him, his whole self, Corey. Williams, direct snap. Quarterback draw, picks up a couple, but most importantly, getting the clock to tick under 6 minutes. He's going to be short by about 5 yards, I believe.
Kerry Rattler making the stop for the Red Raiders.
Third down.
A huge stop for Mr. Rattler on the Leflore Rattlers. And this is money down. This is going to be the biggest play of the game for Leflore. Don't snap the football until 1 second. They're snapping it right around the 5-second mark on the play clock.
Hawkins on one side, Jacorian Gibson on the other side of Jerome Williams. Play clock at 5. They snap it. He goes behind Gibson. That's enough for a first down. He gets down past the midfield stripe into plus territory, down to the 47-yard line.
Look at the key block, though, by Jacorian Gibson.
Big block.
Out front. Number 10, folks. Boom! Right there on his back. 23, big offensive lineman creating an opportunity.
Flag on the play, Corey, on the far side.
If it was post-possession after the play, did he already have the first down? No, from where the flag is thrown on the far sidelines.
It's on the Red Raider sideline.
It was early in the area of holding them, early in that play. So I think we're going to march this one on back. But coming from that far sideline, it'll be
I don't think it was a false start. Maybe it was
pre-snap from where it was thrown on that far sideline.
Interesting.
So take that play off the board
maybe
altogether.
One of the receivers moved.
And you look at the play. It was a good play call. Great block by big number 99 here at the top of your screen. That's Hawkins playing both ways for the Leflore Rattlers, getting it done in 10. Out front, Gibson getting another big block.
3rd and 9 coming up here for the Rattlers. Ball at the 38-yard line, so wipe out that run as they let the play clock get down to under 5 seconds. Pretty much the same call. Another big block right there by Jacorian Gibson. But the Red Raiders defense catches up with Jerome Williams. He's tackled inbounds, gets past the 40.
The huge thing is he stays in bounds.
Yep, clock ticking.
For the Red Raiders so far, Jermani Rogers, the running back, 15 rushes for 154 yards, 1 touchdown. Malachi Adams, 7 out of 15, 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. And you look at, on the flip side of things, Darrell Blackman, 120 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. And there'll be another timeout here, Al.
I believe Rain has called timeout here at 4:26. So they're down to 2 timeouts. They haven't taken it off the board yet. Next week, you talked about that Williamson defense core. We're going to stay in 5A. This is going to be a real good ball game. UMS Wright, the Bulldogs, going to take on the Lions in the jungle. That's going to be really huge as UMS Wright still trying to keep their playoff hopes alive as well.
Well, here we go, 42-8, MGM over Alma Bryant. Williamson 54-0 over Faith Academy. St. Paul's leading Gulf Shores 27-23. St. Michael over Jackson 35-26. Daphne over Davidson 43-20. And also Spanish Fort leading Blunt 41-6. But here it is for Leflore, having to find a way here on 4th down to flip the field and make BC Rain earn this last 4-minute victory here in the Snake Pit.
And no one is back. BC Rain pretty much bringing the house here. And we have whistles. It's actually 4th and 5.
Well, I think this may be against Leflore,
which would be push them back 5 more yards if it is. I know that'll get Marcus Douglas, special teams coach, upset with that.
I didn't see BC Rain jump or flinch
False start against Leflore, so that pushes them back 5 more yards. Rain had no one back to field the punt, and they fronted as if they were going to bring the house, but they only really sent 2 guys, and then the whistles went off.
Penalty goes against the Rattlers. False start.
You have an opportunity here. 4:23, Al.
Rain may have declined it because it doesn't appear as if they moved it.
But flipping the field is what you want to do. Special teams have to be special.
High snap. Gibson punted it right into the defender. I don't know if it got tipped or not, but that has been the worst punt tonight for Jacorian Gibson. Pressure was on him at that point.
All right, great
PA
finish.
announcer does announce it was partially blocked.
Great finish here coming up between
And the
Leflore
Red
and
Raiders
BC
faithful,
Rain.
here's the replay right here. It was partially blocked. Number 0 for BC Rain flies through at the last moment.
But Al, here's it is, special teams, all 3 phases have affected this game that we're watching. I'm going to number 4, Blackman Jr. He's on the top of the screen, and I don't see any help by him. I'm just letting him go get it here at this point in time.
They put Rashad Miles on him, but right now they're putting Jermani Rogers on the Rattlers as he breaks off another big chunk play, add more to his yardage he's accumulating, moving the sticks for the Red Raiders.
Has almost 200 yards rushing, 175 now for this young man. And you look at BC Rain in business here with 2 timeouts remaining, also almost in the red zone.
Ball at the 23-yard line. Back to Rogers, jumps in and pops back out, goes to the BC Rain sideline, tackled inside the red zone by Rashad Miles, just shy of the 15.
He'll be stopped.
And you start to see a lot of hands on the hip here.
And we have a timeout called by Leflore. That'll leave them with 1 remaining timeout. 3:48. We'll take a break as well. Boy, it is really starting to tighten up, get good right here inside the snake pit. Don't move.
Hey, Mobile County parents, it's time to launch your little learner into success with the Mobile County Public Schools First Class Pre-K program. If your child turns 4 years old on or before September 1st, they qualify for this incredible opportunity. Online registration begins January 15th, so don't miss out. Visit MCPSS.com for more information and a complete listing of pre-K sites, screening and selection information. The MCPSS First Class Pre-K program, where big dreams start small.
If you are locked in right now, you're watching a good one, just like my buddy Nicky DeMarks got us checked out, Corey. Enjoying it. The Parkway may come to life if BC Rain can punch it in right here, down 6 with 3:46 to play. 2 timeouts remaining for Rain, 1 timeout remaining for the Rattlers. Ball at the 16-yard line, 2nd and about 4 to go here for BC Rain.
Blackman and Miles, the matchup that 2 impact players in this game.
Direct snap. Malachi Adams just going to keep it. Turns the corner inside the 15. Gang tackle right there by Jacorian Gibson. And another Rattler right at the 15-yard line, 3rd down and short.
And the clock still ticking away. 3:30. 3:30 remaining in the 4th quarter. Short side of the field for the Red Raiders. We saw them give it to number 2 earlier, Rogers, who has his 9th rushing touchdown already of the season on the short side of the field. We'll see if we see an instant replay.
2nd and 4 is what they're calling it here. Over the top to Darrell Blackman Jr. But I heard whistles, a flag on the play.
Blackman doesn't know it.
He does not know it, nor does the sideline know it. But Jonathan King had whistled before the play even started.
That's where you go. I mean, short side of the field, you go to your seasoned wide receiver in this game, Blackman Jr., and he's matched up against another impact player. That's the matchup. You want to see the best on the best here in high school football underneath the Friday night lights. And he knew his number was being called, Blackman Jr. that is, and got a little bit too excited. And we'll see exactly what the penalty call will be, as our white hat tonight has got a lot of action now.
Jonathan King is holding up a 3 like 3rd down. I think that's what the problem was. I thought it was 3rd down, Corey. They said it was 2nd down. And I think that's what the problem was. They never changed the down marker, so that play does not count. It is third down. I heard Tim Hollis say it's 2nd and 4, so I said, I thought it was third down. It is 3rd down and 4. So basically, that's a do-over. They had the wrong down marker. That's an issue we've had a lot tonight. Ball almost fumbled.
We got a flag
by Jamani Rogers. Now we have a flag on the play.
Maybe a little false start.
Yep.
It is. Little
That's
action.
a signal right there.
It'll be false start.
And BC Rain, we saw Leflore self-destruct earlier themselves with the turnover when they needed to protect the pigskin.
That's right. That's right.
And now we have seen BC Rain a couple of times self-destruct in their own side of the field, deep inside of their own end zone here, and trying to drive into the red zone area.
Corey, I tell you this, when they used to League Bowl years ago, they say pressure busts a pipe, brother. When that pressure gets on you, how you ready? Wide open, Jamani Rogers on the wheel route, uncovered. That is a touchdown from Malachi Adams, 20 yards. No one was in sight of Jamani Rogers.
That's the defense failing to communicate.
Wow.
That would drive Nick Saban crazy, but it is a phenomenal call by offensive coordinator Thamus Davis on the wheel route, like you mentioned. Rogers coming out of the backfield. We've seen him do his damage with his feet. Now we see him doing his damage as a receiver, having his first receiving touchdown of the season. And here, the Red Raiders running one on late will try to kick the extra point to go ahead and take their first lead of the game.
Timeout called by BC Rain with 2:51 remaining after the first touchdown score. Extra point was no good for Sanchez. He's on now for his second attempt. When they scored the past couple of times, BC Rain has been chasing points, going for 2, but now with us tied 26-26. Lawrence Yeldon and the crew calling for Romeo Sanchez to step up to the plate. He is 10 for 12 on extra points for the season. And the Rain Red Raiders have come back after they were down at one point, Corey, 20 points in this ballgame.
Great job by the Red Raiders just not quitting here.
Absolutely.
The biggest play of the game is going to be on the foot of your kicker, because you're not going to go for the gusto. If it was a late situation in the game, you may go for 2 after the tie, but here you're just going to try to kick this point after and let Sanchez do the damage after your offensive line blocks correctly.
The snap, the hold, the kick. I heard whistles. It does go through the uprights, but wait. Jonathan King is motioning penalty marker on the play. BC Rain is signaling that it's against Leflore. Offsides against the Rattlers. I'm sure they'll decline that. And they'll accept the point. And Thamus Davis saying it's good.
Jonathan King talking to the BC Rain Red Raiders like it's against Leflore.
Right. I mean, I don't even, Corey, I'm not trying to be funny. I don't even understand the discussion. You declined the penalty.
And that's exactly what they did here.
But I guess they're saying the PAT wasn't good. I thought it was good.
I didn't see the hands go up after, but if it's pre-snap, then you're in a situation.
So will they try to go for 2?
No,
or
I would just go ahead and kick it to go
kick
ahead.
it.
Kick the go ahead.
They're not going to take the yardage. Sanchez is set up at the same spot he was for the PAT, so if you're accepting the penalty, where's the yardage marked off at?
Want to re-kick, Al. Right at the 3-yard line to snap the kick.
And it's blocked. It's blocked. We're tied at 26.
Well, here's
Someone would have to come back and explain this to me. I don't get that one at all.
Here's what you had. The point after had to have been no good if they went ahead and declined the penalty.
Must have been. I thought I saw it go through, but maybe that was the case.
They had to have declined it. And now that you have Life back in this game, you look at the wheel route. Great job and great hands, because all by himself, and I've seen plenty of players drop a wide open pass, and that way you made sure Jermani Rogers did not. And the Rattlers here, I'll be honest with you, there is more pressure on Leflore after squandering a 14-point lead than there is for the Red Raiders. And that for Leflore is to not take the air out of the ball. So in that situation, our producer says that you had a pre-snap.
Before the kick.
Pre-snap. So that's why the ball was spotted right back at the 3-yard line. Correct.
Because I was wondering, like, if it's offsides.
Well, this is where you go to your playmakers and hope Rashad Miles, 21, gets this football. But Jerome Williams must take care of the football along with Tyler Gardner.
Little sky kick once again. Taken by Tyler Gardner. They're going to try to strip it if they can. Tons of Red Raiders team up. And Gardner gets it up to about the 38 or 39-yard line. All right, here's your ball game. 2:43 remaining. Both teams one timeout. And the Leflore offense comes back onto the field. Jerome Williams, senior quarterback, converted over from running back because the top 1, 2, 3, third string guys are all injured. Leflore is pretty much just working off a mash unit offensively here to try to put something together. Tyler Gardner to the right of Williams. Trip receivers to the far side on the short side of the field.
Take care of the ball if you're Williams.
If he can evade one defender, he has plenty of room. Nice downfield block right there by Ace Davis. And they're going to say Williams picked up about 8 on that carry, Corey. He gets it up to the 47-yard line.
And that's a huge gain, being able to get out of bounds and gain positive yards. That's all you can ask in this situation for Leflore, to get positive yards on each and every possession.
Ball at the 47-yard line, 2nd and 2 for the Rattlers. Taking their time. We're tied at 26. And BC Rain has used their last timeout at 2:34, so maybe they saw something offensively they needed to adjust for to use their last timeout.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that if you're going to call timeouts, if you're BC Rain, you want to make sure they're advantageously helping your team, and that just means the personnel wasn't exactly what their defensive coordinator, Jared Hobson, wanted it to be. And you see Leflore just trying to scratch and claw and strike back and get the momentum back from this Red Raider team, who has just gone on a scoring blitzkrieg here in the fourth quarter. And credit to Coach Yeldon's squad for not quitting and finding a way to force turnovers when they needed turnovers.
That's true.
And also scoring points off of those turnovers.
Leflore next week, they will be hosting Alberta. Then they're going to be at Citronelle. Then they have to host Williamson. BC Rain will host Citronelle next week. Then Faith Academy. They're at Faith Academy and hosting Viger. So both of these teams pretty much locked down in region play. This game huge. Williams thought about tossing it out to Tyler Gardner. Boy, this is a busted play going nowhere but backwards. Williams still on his feet, still going backwards, losing yards, and the clock continues to tick, and the Boo Birds come out as Williams is slow to get up here.
Well, I tell you, you know, Williams did one thing right. He did not fumble the football.
He did not fumble the ball.
And the clock continues to run. So you do all that dancing, you do all that moving. Yes, you lost yardage in that situation and bring up a 3rd and 18 yards to go. But if you're the Leflore Rattlers, the clock continues to run, and here on 3rd down, you want to try to get back half of the 17 yards to go. So if you can get 4th and close to 6.5, you're in good shape.
Ball on the 32-yard line. Low snap to Williams. He's just going to take off up the middle. Gets past the 35 up to the 37. Most of the Leflore faithful have left their seats and went down to the fence on the concourse to get closer as this ball game draws under 90 seconds remaining. It is 4th down, and Leflore is going to have to punt this ball away.
Jacorian Gibson has had some 50-yard punts tonight. Matter of fact, I've seen 2 of them. If he's able to get this ball going end over end, we will have an opportunity here to see some of the blazing speed of Jermaine Luton for the Red Raiders. It just needs to be a clean kick and get it end over end.
Nice punt right there by Gibson. Hits right at the 33-yard line and goes out of bounds. 47 seconds left. Ball on the 33. BC Rain 67 yards away from hitting pay dirt to try to win this ball game as we're tied 26 all.
Al, they're going to take their offensive shots, and don't be surprised if you see a pass interference call against the Leflore Rattlers. And then if I know I'm going to get beat for a touchdown, I'm going to commit a PI anyway. I'm going to commit that pass interference because it's not a spot foul.
And unlike the pros, it's not a spot foul right at the foul where it happened. It'll be only 15 yards. Bunch set to the top side.
Freshman has help over the top, 17.
Blackman by himself at the bottom. Adams steps up into the pocket. You can see him looking at Blackman Jr. Clock continues to run as we approach 30 seconds.
And Tyler
Possibly we're going to be going
Williams.
overtime here.
Dinkins Williams with the pursuit from his nose tackle position. And, you know, you just want to see more great high school football here in the Snake Pit. Well, if we don't see a Hail Mary right here, we'll get a chance to see overtime for the first time this year on this network.
Malachi Adams escapes the pressure. Thought about throwing it. Ball is out. It's a fumble. Picked up by Leflore. 8 seconds, 7 seconds. The clock stops at 7 seconds. Oh, my goodness. Someone punched the ball out Malachi Adams' hand.
Backside pursuit
Wow.
and just not taking care of the football, trying to reload and recock the football. Adams just needed to tuck that one and kill it. And now you're going to – here's the thing, though. You know, Al, you don't have a quarterback in Jerome Williams that can throw a Hail Mary. So it's really, you know, all for naught here. A great job of pursuit from the backside by the Rattlers, and unless that's a scoop and score.
Second turnover tonight for BC Rain, and who would have thought it Lightning would have struck again if that would have been a scoop and score. That would have been the 3rd defensive score of the night for Leflore.
Non-offensive touchdown would have been huge. But you know, I haven't seen enough arm strength or enough time for Jerome Williams to throw this one deep. Now, I know that you do have the hook and ladder play that you can run right here.
Hook and ladder, well, we saw it a couple weeks ago.
You definitely want to take a look at running something like that if you're going to go to the end zone.
All at the 40. Williams looking for Ace Davis. Intercepted by BC Rain, another turnover. He is on his feet, pushed out of bounds, and the clock strikes 0. No flags on the field, and we're going to overtime. You're getting free football now, ladies and gentlemen.
And you know, for the first time this season on this network, we do have overtime. And high school overtime, you do have both teams having an opportunity for possession right here from the 10-yard line.
That's correct.
So we will have the captains reconvene at midfield, and we'll have a chance to see who goes on offense first and who going to play defense and what goal line you want to try to protect. So as the captains meet one another back at midfield, our first overtime game of the season.
Both quarterbacks out on the field, Malachi Adams and Jerome Williams. And that'll give our statisticians time to calculate the numbers.
I get to choose, all right, whether you want heads or tails, okay? I'm going to flip it out, this time I'm going to catch it though, all right? Call it out loud. Tails. He said what? Tails. He said tails. Remember, horse is paid. That means you win the toss. You wanted the ball, you went to the first.
Or wins the toss. and they decline. They want to play defense, so you want to find out what you have to do. BC Rain will have the ball first on offense. And we're going to have our first overtime contest of the season, as you called it, Corey. 26-26. What a ball game tonight. They'll take a quick break and come back and give you some overtime. It's free football here on Friday night for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Do you have a student who would benefit from a more flexible learning schedule? The MCPSS Academy of Virtual Learning was created for you. It's reimagining education for independent, motivated, responsible learners in grades 6 through 12. Students can take regular, honors, AP, or dual enrollment courses all at their own pace. And virtual learning doesn't mean isolation. Our teachers know their students and frequently work with them one-on-one. Are you ready to learn your way? Visit our website, mcpssvirtuallearning.com.
We welcome you back to the Snake Pit at Rattler Stadium. And Corey, we showed up for a 5A Region 1 battle, and boy, have we got it tonight.
And that's exactly what you want to see. And you have both teams with an opportunity, as I mentioned, at the 10-yard line where the ball will be spotted to stop one another. It will be first and goal to go for the Red Raiders first, and they have a lot of momentum going.
Yeah.
And I know that you have number 2 and number 4 for BC Rain having the chance to be active. Blackman Jr. along with Rogers for the Red Raiders.
Trip receivers to the top. I don't know if that's going to be offsides or a false start, but that was motion there on the right side of the line. False start called against BC Rain, so that pushes them back to the 15. As you said, Corey, it's first and goal from the 10. You cannot pick up a first down, so now it is first and goal from the 15 for BC Rain.
You know, those are drive killers and can be game killers as well, but I will say this, it just gives more room for Malachi Adams to operate to Daryl Blackman Jr. If you have one-on-one coverage, that's exactly where you want to go if you're the Red Raiders.
Luton at the bottom of the screen by himself. Jermaine Luton, they're going for him in the corner in the fade route. Does not get the foot down. He caught it, but he is out of bounds. Pressure Talon Bumpers with the coverage.
Credit the freshman corner who has been on the island by himself all night long, using the sidelines as that extra defender and making sure that the way he was closing in as a defender, that if the offensive player did receive it, it was going to be out of bounds.
Corey, you may not remember, that young man played point guard for Clark Shaw. He was in the middle school championship game last year that you called. Went to school with my son and my daughter over there at Clark Shaw. Great basketball player and plays football as well. Second down and goal here for the Red Raiders. High snap. Man, that was close to being fumbled. And they just surround Jermani Rogers. When the timing is off on plays like that, Corey, you're not expecting to get a good result.
No, you're not, but at the same time, Micah Thomas, the MAC linebacker, 5'8", 205-pound senior, makes a huge stop for the Leflore Rattlers, and that penalty proved to be very costly on first down, as now it's third and goal from the 12-yard line. And remember, if the Red Raiders don't score here, whether it's an interception or whether it's a fumble or whether it's a turnover on downs, the Rattlers
next score wins the game.
Will have an opportunity to possess the ball as well.
And a timeout taken by Rain. As they want to discuss things on their side of the field. Third down here coming up for the Red Raiders. They have clawed themselves back into this ball game, of course assisted by Leflore.
Al, I know you do a tremendous job of keeping up with the game notes. Give our viewers who are tuning in here late how the scoring recap started off at the beginning of this game in the first quarter.
At the beginning of the ball game, Leflore came out early punching it in. 2-yard run by Ryan Houston. And Corey, on the next possession, which was BC Rain's first possession, the first play from scrimmage that they have, they fumbled a snap. Leflore takes advantage of it with the defensive score. Who scores it? Ryan Austin once again, 9-yard score from them. Rain gets the ball back. They put together a 40-yard touchdown pass to Darrell Blackman Jr., so that gets them on the board. And we ended the first quarter 13-6. No scoring took place in the second quarter at all. And we got to the third quarter. Leflore pulled off 2 touchdowns. But right now we got to get back to the action. Third down here for BC Rain. Big money down.
Jr.
Big money down. Looking for Rogers, Julius Rogers on the slant route. Incomplete. It is 4th and goal here for the Red Raiders.
Well, I will say this. Finish your scoring recap just because you mentioned Leflore jumping out early to a 14-point lead in the third quarter and BC Rain ferociously coming back.
Then in the third quarter, Leflore pretty much takes advantage of it. A fumble touchdown once again. Lewis McMillan jumps on an 8-yard scamper on a bad snap to Malachi Adams, and Leflore extends the lead to 20-6. Then Rashad Miles, Mr. Electric, does a punt return, and that stretches the lead to 20 points. So BC Rain started the fourth quarter down 20. 26-6 was the score. Right now we're tied at 26, and they're trying to go to Darrell Blackman Jr. No flags on the play. Leflore's defense holds Corey LeBounty, and it comes down to this. If the Rattlers can score a touchdown or a field goal, wins it for Leflore here. But a Rattler in the end zone down.
Rashad Miles came down tough on his back, knocked the wind out of himself there in that situation, and that's just a tough injury.
We'll take a injury timeout as well.
As a student in the Mobile County Public Schools, there are a few things I've come to expect. One is a quality education, and the other is a quality lunch. Not only are our school meals well-balanced, meeting all federal nutritional standards, but they also have less fat, fewer calories, and they taste really good. Oh, and I forgot to mention, our school lunches contain whole wheat, grains, fruits, and vegetables to give me the energy and brain power to get me through the day.
I believe my child's school is probably one of the best ones I could have picked in Mobile. She's in the PACE program. The teachers are phenomenal. The principal, couldn't ask for a better principal. The research that I had done myself, I believe the quality of education in Mobile County Public School System is excellent. For me and my child, I'm going to stick with the public school system. I think it's the way to go.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose.
Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month has a negative effect on student achievement?
And that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
It's time.
Rashad Miles assisted off of the field, and then he ran off on his own power toward the end. And right now, it is Leflore, 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Next score wins the ball game.
No penalties here if you're the Rattlers, unlike BC Rain on his first offensive possession.
Direct snap to Jerome Williams, goes right up the middle behind Hawkins, and that offensive line that averages about 249 pounds gets up to the 6-yard line.
And you talk about Hawkins, and I'll give credit here also to the Leflore Rattlers offensive line up front. Colin Walker, Bryson George, Darius Sigler, Jason Morris, and Jamarian Salter Anderson.
2nd down and goal for the Rattlers. Another run up the middle. Touchdown. Leflore wins it in overtime. Jerome Williams with the 5-yard score. And the Rattlers do it 32-26 over BC Rain.
The Rattlers strike, and how do they strike? Behind the big beef of the offensive line. And despite squandering a fourth-quarter lead, the Rattlers behind the big offensive line, and Bowleg himself, they call him Jerome Williams, number 0, checking in for the Rattlers and becoming victorious on Alumni Night.
Huge win for the Leflore fan base. Unbelievable 2 plays, and the Rattlers punch it in as they snatch victory away from BC Rain. Boy, they gave it up, but BC Rain came back, but Leflore pulls out the win. Huge win tonight for the Tomerville community. Our first night here in the Snake Pit at Rattler Stadium, and what a game. I told you at the onset we had a great game coming up, but Corey, I didn't think we were going to go to overtime tonight and give some free football to everyone. Unbelievable ball game.
Yeah, that's exactly what you wanted to see. You wanted to see some exciting football by the Leflore Rattlers and the BC Rain Red Raiders. And to me, you look offensively for the Leflore Rattlers, it was early and often Ryan Austin setting that tune for Leflore. Jerome Williams and Ryan Austin both. Bowleg and Ryan Austin. Ryan Austin with a touchdown reception and then a fumble recovery. And then Jerome Williams, he is a third-string quarterback for the Leflore Rattlers, a running back by trade, winning this game in overtime.
Unbelievable. Got to thank Wade who gave us another line because he said, look, tonight, if you guys have dual players, we're ready for you tonight. But we needed it, Corey. We went to overtime, an outstanding ball game just when you thought Leflore was out of it. Hey, the defense stood up and held BC Rain in overtime.
Well, it's a big win for this community and this program on Alumni Night, finding a way to battle through adversity, and that's something in the past Leflore has not been able to do. They've held their head down and found a way. They tried to find a way to lose this game tonight with fumbles in the lead, but credit BC Rain for not quitting, and even more credit to the Leflore Rattlers for having enough discipline down at the end. The penalties cost the Red Raiders first and 15, and then Leflore on 2 plays quickly in the overtime wins the game, and Leflore moves on to become victorious in another huge second region win for the Leflore Rattlers.
That's right. Next week, BC Rain has Citronelle. Leflore has Alberta, and this win is really huge for Leflore. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn. She's with the coach down on the field. What you got, Kim?
Coach Douglas, a huge region win in overtime for this Leflore team. What does this moment mean to you?
Man, it means everything to me. Shout out to the players. Shout out to Coach Perry. He had them prepared all week for this moment. It means a lot because we still have a chance to make the playoffs, and that gives us another region win. I'm so proud of the team and the way they fought. Very proud of them.
Before the game, you talked about this would just be the first step in region play, getting to those next moments after the season. Do you feel like the team did a good job of accomplishing that goal?
I did. I told them, that they would have to fight for 4 quarters. I guess that was a lie. They had to fight for 5, had an overtime. But like I say, they didn't give up. They believed that we were still going to win, and we came out with the win, and I'm extremely proud. Yes,
well, congratulations, Coach. I'll let you guys celebrate with your team.
Thank you so much.
All right, Kimberly, we appreciate that. Congratulations, Coach Douglas, stepping in tonight for Coach Perry to get the win. Here's a look at the numbers. Big hats off to China Powell and Matt Moore for putting it together. Look at the rushing yards right there, Corey. 160 for BC Rain, 159 through the air. A well-balanced attack by the Red Raiders, but they could not overcome the turnovers. 3 turnovers at the end of the day, and we know 2 of them led to points off turnovers for Leflore, Corey.
Yeah, Jamani Rogers with over 175 rushing yards himself, but you look at digging yourself a 13-0 deficit early in the first quarter, and Leflore coming back and blocking the extra point that would have given BC Rain an opportunity to take the lead 27-26. So Leflore just overcame all type of adversity tonight from a coaching standpoint, from a fan standpoint, from an all-around standpoint. Turnovers, the whole nine. Kudos to the Rattlers.
21 total penalties for both of these teams. What an outstanding ball game. Leflore puts out their largest offensive effort of the season, putting up 32 points tonight, eclipsing the 28 points in their one and only win against Fourth Academy. But now they have two as they beat BC Rain tonight. What a ball game. We went into overtime. Don't forget, next week it's UMS Wright and Williamson. The 5A fun continues. Make sure you join us at 6:50. For Kimberly Dunn, Corley Bounty, our statisticians China Powell and Matt Moore, and the entire MCPSS crew, thanks for hanging in there with us, guys. Overtime. What a game. The Rattlers bring it home. 32-26. Have yourself a great weekend.